No, it's fine. Just roll.
Right.
It's cool.
We're not late for once. Oh, I'm tired.
No, technically we're about a minute ahead of schedule there, Jay.
Well, 6 seconds according to the countdown timer on my end. You guys are going to probably hear kids and stuff screaming in the background. I'm a single parent this evening, at least for the first part of this stream.
Where's mom
And,
at?
Gym.
Oh,
She's
the
at
gym.
Yeah.
Getting her flex on.
Her flexicles. Anyway, I'm going to just run the intro, and then we'll talk about
Do it.
stuff.
Do it.
you going?
Welcome to Tech Talk, the only show on the internet that's probably going to go away for a little while or forever. You'll never know. Lol. You
I
want to know.
love all the people saying we're late when we're not.
Yeah.
We're
We're
not
not.
late.
Set your
You're
clock.
just buffered. You're
Yeah,
buffered,
we're going by the atomic clock here, guys. The atomic clock.
Anyway, guys, this is Tech Talk, the show that you've been warned rarely has anything to do with tech. So no complaining about it not being tech related.
There you go. No complaining. Them's the rules. If you complain, you get blocked, banned, and we hack your PayPal and take all your money.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I would complain and stuff, but I wouldn't hack it. I wouldn't hack their PayPals. But I will say this, though, that the only reason the show is ever called TikTok is because I had this real grandiose idea that one day it would become like this syndicated talk show that was probably the biggest joke ever. Yeah.
Hey, I just had somebody point out the obvious. Why the laptop, Jerry? Why aren't you using your big main rig? Because that's actually rendering Adobe Premiere and my cool Matrix like screensaver thingy. So
Not to mention it makes a cooler backdrop than your back
does.
wall.
I know you like that better than like all the discarded cables and things around my room, right?
Yeah, it's just like when I do the new live stream like format, and the studio is going to be like the studio itself
Yeah.
will be the backdrop, like not the machine. So
You know what you should do is put in a giant green screen and just do like a really cool grandiose, like in the middle of a giant, like cogs turned in the background and
ESPN.
steampunk and shit. Yeah,
ESPN, like a little talking booth and stuff.
exactly.
Okay, let's talk about Ryzen.
Yeah, I'm starting to become a believer.
Well, I'm happy that I at least forecasted the pricing properly on the 1800X.
I honestly didn't believe that they would be able to do that.
That's how you
surprising.
get market share, man. You got to be price competitive.
I know, but to be able to make it and turn a profit, that tells me that Intel is literally price gouging the fuck out of everybody.
Does that surprise you, though?
I mean, it doesn't really, but still, we're talking like a markup. Let's see, if AMD can sell Ryzen for half the price at the same performance, I have to guess that Intel has better architecture because, you know, they've already designed like the next 20 processors they're going to release. So they can probably build their chips for half the price of AMD, and AMD's half the price of Intel. So what does that tell you? Their markup is probably like 1,000%.
1,000, 10 times more expensive than manufacturing, probably.
pretty much.
But that's what happens when you don't have competition happening in the space.
Well, do you want to throw out a prediction for what Intel's going to do? Do you really think Intel's going to just stand their ground and keep their prices the same, or do you think they're just going to release Coffee Lake and cut everything else?
I honestly think they're not going to change a damn thing. You know what? Well, they already had a public statement saying that they tend to believe that the consumer will sit back and take a wait and see approach to the new tech on AMD rather than just adopting it right away.
Not at this price.
Not at that price, and also too, pre-orders are. It's funny. My pre-order video that went out today was shot yesterday, and by the time it finally got live, the pre-orders were gone. So it's like now does that mean that many people want to adopt it on day one, or does that just mean they didn't have a lot of pre-orders set aside? I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. They didn't release any manufacturing stuff information, did they? Like how many units are out there in the wild?
They never release that stuff.
All
Nobody
right.
releases like those types of numbers. That's like tipping your hand to your competitor on what your manufacturing forecast looks like.
I guess
So,
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
It's funny though because I have two 6900Xs, right, for the new studio builds.
Yep.
Those are going forward. Those are being built no matter what. Those have already been slated and budgeted and promised and all that stuff to be built. But I'm highly interested in seeing what the Ryzen performance is going to be like once I get my hand on it. Mine was supposed to be here today, but AMD was like, we made a shipping mistake. It'll be there soon. It's like, oh, great. Not only did you guys forget to invite me to the event, you also forgot to ship it too. Fine.
I'm pretty sure that's code for we didn't have enough chips that actually worked. We had to throw more away than expected.
Yeah, but
you
anyway.
know as well as I that every chip comes off the same damn manufacturing process, and they basically just bin them based on which one just won the lottery.
Well, they come out of the same wafer usually.
They do.
But anyway, so I will be doing those builds. I don't know yet what CPU. I don't know if I'm getting an 1800X or a 1700X. I'll tell you what, personally, I would love to get my hands on a 1700. The 1800X at $499 is still out of a lot of builders' price ranges. But $329 for the bottom end of the 7 series, because we can pretty much assume based on leaked info, there's going to be a 3, a 5, and a 7, that's cheaper than a 7700K, and it's giving you twice the cores, twice the thread count, and very competitive IPCs, or instructions per clock. That's what matters. So I kind of look at it this way. Why would anyone buy a 7700K if you truly are getting better performance out of a 1700 across the board for cheaper? Man, I would endorse that all day long.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as it's stable. Plus, it seems... Go ahead.
I'm just saying there'd be no reason not to endorse it. If it's better and cheaper, that is a no-brainer.
No. I feel the same way. I'm like looking at... And plus, they said it broke the world record for Cinebench on an overclock already?
Yeah, I heard that. I don't. Like I said, I didn't have access to any of those slides and stuff, so I have no idea.
All I know is the hearsay. But somebody said I think it was 5.2 gigahertz. It busted the world record for Cinebench on a single CPU, and I was like, wow. Okay, well, if that holds water, that's pretty damn impressive for a chip that costs next to nothing compared to its closest competition.
I did benchmark because it's the next logical question I've been getting asked a shit ton is, am I going to switch Skunkworks to a Ryzen CPU? Ryzen doesn't currently have anything to compete with a 6950X, which is 10 cores, 20 threads. I don't think AMD is going to position themselves to. Then again, this is a $1,700 CPU that doesn't make financial sense for really anybody. Yep. And I've said this a million times. If it wasn't sponsored, I wouldn't have it.
Yep.
But I run it at 4.5 gigahertz all day long. And so I did my Cinebench score, and I get a 2354, which is almost 1,000 points higher than, 700 points higher than what the 1800X is getting. But that's 1800X non-overclocked. So I am going to compare an overclocked 1800X, though, to this CPU, just for lulls. But then again, you could buy three 1800Xs and still have enough money to buy a mid-range GPU for the price of one of these CPUs.
Well, and the other thing that I'm banking on right now that I haven't seen any public confirmation for, but I have a feeling being AMD, is that multi-core is just going to be supported out of the box for all of them.
The what now?
The Ryzen's going to be multi-core capable on all SKUs of the CPU. There's not going to be like a Xeon equivalent. There's literally going to be pop these in any multi-proc board, and you've got a multi-proc system. And if they go that route like they did historically with the previous generations, like the Athlon processors and stuff, you're going to have people building massive compute machines with 2 or 4 of these things in them for like pennies on the dollar compared to the Intel counterpart.
Someone says I'm echoing. No, what you're probably hearing is a slight feedback of Jerry's headphones into the mic. It happens every now and then. Like I can barely hear myself, and I apologize for that. But
I'll drop my volume down just a little bit. Yeah, let me do that.
This wouldn't be Tech Talk if we didn't have mid-show setup stuff.
There we go. Yeah, I had it like at 100%, so that's probably better now.
Check 1 2. Yeah, I don't hear myself now.
Yeah, I dropped it down about half the volume. It was you literally sound like you were just yelling in my ear, but that's how I like it, Jay. That's how I like it.
Anyway, let's see here. So I'm really interested too in getting my hands on the Ryzen 3 stuff that's been leaked. They have not officially talked about any of that publicly, but that from what we've seen on the leaked pricing, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. That's going to be positioned to compete directly with like i3 and entry-level i5 stuff, but they're all 4-core. All of them are 4-core. Oh, is that the new graphics card right there?
You like that? Yeah, this is just an R9 290X. We had to take the fan out of it though because it went back in the car it came out of. Isn't that cool though? For like just made out of cardboard. Somebody made that at PDX Land, gave it to me and said to set it on fire in one of my videos, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Ryzen 3 R3. But yeah, we're seeing this. They're all going to be at least a 4-core, which is big because even like the Intel stuff, like the 7350K, is still a dual core with hyperthreading.
Yep.
And
these are physical cores.
I would prefer a physical core over a logical core any day of the week. So
anybody would.
But some of the leaked pricing on that shows potentially $129 for the R311. Geez, that sound you guys hear? It's not a parrot. I swear, it's my youngest daughter. But that's showing a 4-core, 4-thread, is 6 megabyte cache. Is that 6? Yeah, it looks like 6 megabyte cache. No, 8 megabyte cache. 3.2 gigahertz frequency with a 3.5 turbo clock or whatever they're calling it for $129. So one of the things I said in the i3 7350K video was no one in their right mind should really pay $180 for that CPU. That's stupid. for the $175 mark, you can get a 4-core, 8-thread R5 1300. Remember, this is all leaked speculation here, but so far it's looking like this is turning out to be pretty accurate. A 4-core, 8-thread, 3.5 gigahertz CPU with 8 megabytes of cache, L3 cache, for $175. Or just jump it up to 200, and you get 3.9 plus gigahertz, 4-core, 8-thread, 1400X. That's perfect. This is the pricing model we needed to hopefully get some waves moving in the ocean. If that makes
I'm curious to see what the motherboard pricing is going to be too, with like the different chipsets and manufacturing and all that stuff. I wonder if their motherboards are going to eat up some of that profit or some of that gain.
The Asus Crosshair 6 Hero shows a $249 or $229 price tag.
Is that considered like a flagship board?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that's not bad.
It's a Republic of Gamers board.
Okay, then I consider that kind of like right on par with what you'd expect from Intel. Although I've seen some $500 Intel boards, you know, they
there's $700 Intel boards for X99. But here's the thing, though. Remember, these 3 CPUs right now really are sort of the equivalent of an X99 type of platform, and those motherboards as a whole are more expensive on Intel's X99 platform than they are than what you're seeing here for the AMD stuff. The bigger thing I think that's important with this is you're going to see motherboard manufacturers now taking AMD more serious in the quality of board that they're going to build. I mean,
I agree.
If you've ever taken, and this has been this way even for the GPUs for a while, if you've ever taken, let's say, like the MSI Gaming X RX 480 and held that next to the MSI Gaming X GTX 1060, there is a physical comparative difference. Words are hard, guys. I'm sorry. There is a physical difference between these two in terms of build quality. They look the same because the aesthetics are the same, but one is significantly heavier than the other. One has heat pipes and one doesn't. One has a backplate and one doesn't. I mean, it's like for the same price, you're getting a physical build quality difference, which was never fair. It was never fair to the AMD side of stuff. That makes me wonder what was the markup too, though. If there's no markup for those additional features, maybe it didn't make sense. I don't know. I'm not in the manufacturing side of things.
That'll be interesting to see how this plays out, though, because if it is a serious overclocker, you know, and it's not running, you know, like I assumed that they were going to release it and it was going to be like on par with Intel chips, but literally running on the bleeding edge right out of the box.
Yeah.
The fact that it has so much headspace, yeah, I tend to think that motherboard manufacturers, being the overclockers that they are now, putting all these features into the BIOSes and EFI and so forth, I think they're going to jump on board and they're really going to try to make stuff to push this thing as hard and as reliable as possible. And I would love to see that. That would be great.
The biggest complaint I'm hearing from people is, but it doesn't have quad channel memory. One, all the benchmarks you're seeing is quad channel Intel versus dual channel on the Ryzen stuff, and it doesn't seem to be holding it back. Two, I would argue that there's very few things an average consumer like me, you, or the people watching this stream truly utilize and saturate the 4 channels of memory bandwidth. There's not even rendering. There isn't a huge gain between dual and quad as there is between single and dual. Single and dual is a big jump. Dual to quad, not as much. And I kind of feel like that's one of the reasons why they're able to keep the pricing down a bit, is because, especially with the motherboard stuff, is, you know, I would have to assume that manufacturing a dual channel motherboard and memory controller and all that stuff is cheaper for dual than it would be for core. That's just assumption. Could be completely off base here. But I plan on testing as well an X99 like 6900K with 2 sticks of RAM versus 4 when I do my Ryzen stuff to see what you're giving up with dual channel.
That'd be interesting. I'd like to see the results on that because I want to build, and I'm already talking to Puget Systems a little bit about this. I'm waiting to hear back from them, but I would like to do a Ryzen build myself, me building the box, because everybody's bugging me. Doesn't think I can build a computer, Jay. I got to prove them wrong.
Do you remember how?
I can't remember how. Did you put the things in the slots where they fit and you put screws in them and you turn it on and hopefully everything works, right?
You might end up a kid if you do it wrong.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, no, I want to build a rendering box, especially if the multi-core scenario plays out. If I can get a multi-core motherboard, slap 2 Ryzens on it.
You mean multi-processor board?
Multi-processor, yeah. Slap in 2 of the procs, tons of memory, and go to town. That's going to be awesome. I would love to see what the price comparison looks like against, say, like my Xeon counterpart for for how fast it's rendering and say like Adobe. You know, the Adobe products aren't very GPU accelerated, so they're heavily dependent on
They're not
CPU.
very
I want to
GPU
see what happens.
accelerated, but even on like my 6950X, they're not utilizing all 20 threads to their fullest potential. So I don't know how beneficial a dual proc board would be.
When I use the H.264 codec on my machine, I know it maxes out all the cores that I have, but I don't have as many cores as you do.
I
know
20.
that.
Thought you had 24.
Let's see. What am I rocking over here? I think I got 12.
I thought you had two 6 cores, which give you 12 threads
Right.
each for 24 total.
For 24. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. 24 total. Is
So,
that
you have-
on yours? Is that logical, or is that including? Is that
I have
just
20. I have 20 logical. You have 24 logical, but I have a much higher clock speed than you. I'm running at 4.5 gigahertz.
You know what's weird? Right now, I'm actually rendering a video using Media Encoder, and it's only using about 50% utilization. However, when I'm inside of Adobe Premiere using the H.264 render in there, with all the boxes checked, it uses 100%. I don't understand that.
What's interesting is when I render inside of Adobe, I'm only seeing about 50 to 60%.
Weird. What in the hell? I'll have to talk to Joel over at
Yeah.
Adobe and figure out what the hell's going on. I know that some codecs are different than other, right? Like we were talking about when you use what's the H.264? No,
You mean
the- what-
265?
what's 265, the
Yeah.
Blu-ray codec
Right,
or whatever.
right.
It uses 100% of everything. It maxes out everything, no matter where you do it.
Jay Priller says in chat that Ryzen doesn't support ECC or 2P. You have to wait for Naples. Do you need ECC registered memory for what
No.
you want to do? No.
No.
You're not running a server.
Nope, ECC memory for rendering and stuff like that isn't nearly as important as it is.
A render
to like
farm
a server.
ECC registered memory isn't nearly as important for something like a render farm inside your home as it is for, say, a data center, server rack. That's
Yeah, because realistically, the ECC is just to catch a single bit memory error and recover from it.
That's
If you
what I
have a
was-
single bit memory error, I'm just going to reboot the damn computer and yank the RAM out of it and throw it away and put new RAM in it because you can't trust the RAM after that happens.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say is ECC is all about stability in terms of RAM accuracy and errors and the way it handles those errors. That's the only
Yep.
difference between ECC registered memory.
Yeah, and there's a lot,
Okay,
and
there's
there's a lot of
probably more than
events.
that, but still.
There's a lot of events too where ECC will actually lead to the kernel still failing over quicker, but it'll still fail over and it'll still kill your operation. So it's not like ECC magically keeps your computer running forever despite memory errors occurring. It just is
Right.
able to catch them instead of just showing up as random corruption and random memory problems, which Windows is really good at catching. By the way, Windows kernel is exceptionally good at catching one bit memory errors that occur anywhere in the kernel. It'll throw an exception and basically unhandled blue screen to death, and you're rebooting.
It even gives you a cute little sad face.
It does. It gives you a little sad face because everybody shit their pants when they saw 0xFFF000 kernel page non-area.
I really wish they'd put a little tear in that sad face.
That would have been funny, like a little animated tier that as it's
Yeah.
uploading, it's like the progress bar. That would have
Yeah.
been good. That would have been good. There you go, Microsoft. You can have that one. It's free.
Well, my errors are usually so catastrophic because it's overclocked related. It can't even finish the process, so it just freezes on whatever percentage. Oh my god! Can you hear her?
I can't.
She's all the way downstairs.
No, she's got some pipes on her, man. Even when
Yeah,
I was
she
down
does.
there. Wow.
Yeah, she's loud.
You give her attention.
What happened is
she
Mom-
commands attention.
What happened is Mommy came home and then she went to the shower. And little Jay's down there keeping an eye on her right now. And if she got a chance to see Mommy, then she's just like, I want Mom and I want the boob now. So anyway,
Let's be fair. You're the same way.
breastfed till 20.
Oh, hey, it made you smarter.
Jerry, what background is it? Have you never seen the freaking Matrix?
No, right?
What background is that?
I highly recommend that you go watch The Matrix. It's got Keanu Reeves in it, and he plays a computer hacker in a digital world that does some pretty cool things. And pretty much every movie since then has been loosely based on it.
Yeah.
Every movie. Like everything. Even Game of Thrones probably, to some degree, is loosely based on it. At least the camera work.
Asus wants to sponsor an a Ryzen build. I'll go forward with that. I'll let them sponsor it. Sure. No, I think. So I need a Band-Aid little Jay's computer. I did a little. I don't know if you saw that picture I put up. She's got some terrible artifacting with her GPU, and it shuts off now in like
see that.
inside of 20 seconds. It's just a GPU failure. The system still works, but I kind of want to take the opportunity now to upgrade her to a newer, more modern system because she is playing a lot of 3D accelerated games now. So I think I'm going to Band-Aid her computer with a new GPU in there to keep her running, and then I think I want to do a Ryzen build for her. But I think it's a perfect opportunity to do more of the mainstream Ryzen, not like an 1800X.
I like how Jay's like, yeah, I'm going to give my kid the AMD poor people computer so she can try it out first before I do any serious time on it.
Can you think of a better testing agent?
No, No. That squirrel chaser would find every single problem with that thing inside of 25 minutes.
I'm telling you, man. Do you know how many registry cleanup programs are installed? Because she keeps like installing bloatware with all the crap.
Yeah, we've detected a virus on your computer. The Prince of Nigeria wants $100,000. Yes. Okay, enter. It's like my dad.
Give her 3 tight X's.
Funny story. I went down to last time I went down to California to see my dad. I gave him a tablet, right? Like just a little, like it was like a PC tablet though, like one of the ones with detachable keyboard, and it was a really old one. All it could do is pretty much browse the web. So I give it to him. I set it up on his Wi-Fi. I go back to see him a year later, and he says, "I'm like, why don't you ever email me?" He's like, "Oh, my laptop hasn't worked for like 6 months or whatever." I was like, "Okay, I'll check it out." I boot the thing up to Windows, and I log in, and it just has like 500,000 things in the bar on his browser, like browser plugins for like games and stuff like that. And then I go in to clear his search history, and I swear it was all porn. It was all porn for miles and miles and miles. And I confronted him and I said, "Dad, you need to stop going to the bad porn sites. Here's the list of good porn sites that you can go to that aren't going to give you viruses."
Here's the ones that have affiliate links for.
Yeah, he looked at me and he's like, "Oh, I don't look at porn on that thing. I wouldn't do that." And I was like, "Dad, just use this list." Somehow I keep receiving emails from him now. So it must be working. The computer's actually like working now.
Aye.
Dad, I hope you're watching. He isn't though.
It's funny that some people. I kind of hate that people get butthurt at the fact that I can build my daughter a good system. My dad did that for me, and look at where I am today. And look, and you guys, your computer made a noise back there.
It did. It said web wallpaper crash.
My dad did a good job at keeping me as up to date as he could with the hardware when I was younger, which paved the way for me to be able to do what I do today, that you guys are here watching. So you can't, it would be kind of a double standard for you to tell me it's not fair for me to build my daughter a good system because you don't have one. That's kind of a shitty attitude to have. So
you know what we should do is just let's turn it around on them, Jay, and say, "Hey, we don't think it's fair that they can't build their computer an awesome computer because they don't have a successful YouTube channel." So there, you should go make a successful YouTube
I would
channel.
Agree with that statement too.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Just saying.
But part of me kind of wants to take my 5960X and build her a system because it would be water cooled with the tears of haters.
It would, and that's way better than unicorn tears. I hear that you can get at least an extra 200 megahertz.
I can't imagine
unicorn tears.
I honestly though can't fathom building that kind of computer for a kid that age. Yes. I can't imagine building a computer like that for.
I just want to see her go to school and be like, "What computer do you have?" "Oh, my dad gave me his Pentium 4, and it's so awesome. I play solitaire." And she's like, "Oh, I play Crisis Warhead, 4K, 300 frames per second on my dual Titan X system with quad Ryzens." That's gonna be like the conversation where like no, she's unobtainium. Like nobody will be able to play top trumps with her over.
There's a lot of Asian ethnicity in our neighborhood. I have to imagine some little kid's going to be like, "Is that all you got?" There's always going to be that kid that's got more than you, right?
No, he's going to be like, "Hey, my dad designed that processor. Yeah. How do you like it?" I want to tell my dad.
My dad engineered that.
I used to work with a guy named David Moy. I hope that he watches my YouTube videos, but I used to joke with him every day. I'd come in and be like, "Hey, can you fix my Nintendo? My Nintendo's broken again." I'm so bad.
You're terrible.
I miss David Moy. He was a good guy.
So yeah, in a nutshell, I'm excited about AMD Ryzen.
I am too, which is strange because the change from AMD poor people is going to be hard.
Look, the fact that Intel even responded says something.
You know what's funny? I was at PDX Land. I'm sitting there. You know, Ed and I are going back and forth. I'm making fun of Sapphire. He's in AMD. He's making fun of Intel. Yeah. And we're going back and forth. And the AMD guy was sitting next to him who was working on the Ryzen project. He walks over and hands me a card and he's like, "Hey, when you're ready to give us a fair shake, give me, email me."
Shake.
And he hands me the thing because he heard me talking. And I was like, "Will you He asked me. He's like, "Will you honestly give Ryzen a fair shake? Like, will you honestly review?" And I was like, "What do you think I am? I don't. I would give it a fair review."
I think everyone knows what you are, Jerry.
Shut up. I would give him a fair review.
Are you kidding? Okay, every Friday morning I wake up to a pretty long email inbox of people complaining about you, right? And it's always people complaining about why I have that biased AMD hater on my show every week.
I have never said anything bad about AMD. Name one thing I said bad about AMD.
I'm not going to reply.
Just name one thing.
I don't reply to those emails anyway, but I'm just going to start forwarding them to you, okay?
Just name one thing, Jay. One thing I've ever said bad about AMD, other than it's for poor people and burns people's houses down. Those are the only two things.
You've given it some compliments. You've called some of the Radeon stuff excellent space heaters for those that don't have central heating.
It is. It is. I would recommend it to anybody living in Antarctica. On
You
a budget.
have said it
Like,
keeps
I
the
would.
people at the power plants with a job.
It does. It does.
I mean, what else have you said?
Hydroelectric, man. The nuclear would just disappear if it wasn't for AMD. AMD
Hydroelectric
keeps
dams.
nuclear power around.
But then the heat helps like evaporate the water, which kind of creates a bit of a deteriorating situation there.
Yeah. Well, you know what other companies I talk endless shit about? Apple. What am I running here? I just went and bought an iPhone 7 because I got sick of everybody calling me poor people for having
Yep.
success. What am
He
I running
hates-
back here? Windows 10 runs
He
on
hates-
that. What company do I hate the most? Microsoft.
I still don't even run Windows 10 on my shit.
So AMD, even though I say I hate you publicly, I will use your stuff if it's the best. That's how it works. If it's the best, I'll use it.
He's all, I hate you publicly, but your money still spends like anyone
Even if
else's.
your factory is powered by toddlers, I will use your CPU if it's the best. I'm
You know what's
sorry,
funny
that's just how I
is
am.
we spent the last 25 minutes talking about how good Ryzen is for the community if like the performance holds up.
Yeah.
Someone's going to do nothing but hear the one thing you just said right there as a joke and is going to bitch and complain about it.
Oh, they will. People bitch and complain about everything. Have you
No.
ever released a single video, Jay? A single video on YouTube where the comments were 100% positive, was 100% likes?
Yes.
I bet you go back and look at that video right now. It's got one dislike.
No, it's like it's some of my earliest videos. I still have a couple that have 0 dislikes. Now people are going to
Well,
go
that's
find them
because
and
like
dislike them.
14 people watched them and it was
Doesn't
family.
matter.
Come on.
You said, have I ever listed one?
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But you go back and they all have downvotes and you know only your family has the link. And you're
That's
like,
what I
"Oh,
just
damn."
said. Like everyone watching is going to go back and find any of my videos that have 0 dislikes, and that's going to be in the tank real quick.
Oh my god! Well, no. The funny thing is, I just released a kind of a joke video yesterday about
The iPhone.
the original iPhone,
Right.
and everybody got all up in arms. It's got more dislikes than any video I've ever had, but the SEO on it's been going through the roof because it's got more likes than other videos. In addition to the dislikes, and when you aggregate the two numbers together, it's a high percentage of engagement. So the video's just like climbing in the stats in the back, and I'm like, you know what? I need to stop worrying about dislikes. I need to stop worrying about bad comments. Every time I delete a bad comment, I'm actually shooting myself in the foot because that's taking away engagement. So from now on, I'm just gonna let everything ride.
The only
Let it ride.
bad comments that I actually delete. There's this misconception out there that I delete any comment that is critical of myself. That's not true. I only delete the comments that are just straight up derogatory and very, very like hate speech versus me or
Yeah.
anyone else. And that's not censorship. You can still say whatever you want, just not here. So
Exactly.
no, if anyone is like way over the top and out of line, then I just shut them up because I don't feel like allowing them the courtesy of inconveniencing the pixels on YouTube's data center for those few moments. If that
Well, I'm the
makes
same
sense.
way. I mean, there's certain comments you got to delete, right? When somebody posts
Yeah.
a comment that's like your entire home address and social security number and a link to create a credit card, you're like, I probably should delete that one. You know, it's like, but I'm a lot less critical than I used to be as far as deleting comments, for
Yeah.
that very reason. That's why drama channels do so good. Why do you think drama videos do so good on YouTube? They all have massive dislike. They all have like thousands of dislikes, and the reason why they do well is because you combine the likes and dislikes together, and that's a high percentage of the overall views.
I'm gonna look up what the rumors are right now on GTX 1080 Ti.
Still no
NVIDIA-
official word, huh?
Well, NVIDIA's holding its event, its quote-unquote GDC event, which is not out of the norm. It's GDC, right? The end of this, well, beginning of next week, and I will be there. But it's a celebration of PC gaming event. So,
Can you tell
I
me
don't
where
know.
it's being held, like the general area, or is that all hush hush?
Well, GDC's in San Francisco, and that's where
Oh,
the event.
it's GDC.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I just want to know because I know that you got invited to some super squirrel meets too. Also, like, aren't you? Like,
I have not been invited to any private meetings.
you have not.
To
What was
NVIDIA,
that
no.
one that you went to with Nvidia? They had like Dead Mouse playing and shit. What was that?
That was that was the. It was a press day. They called it
Okay.
a press day, but it was also like neighboring up against DreamHack in Austin, Texas. So it was at the same.
Wasn't that
like,
super hush hush though about like the location and when you knew where you were going and everything?
up until we got our itinerary? Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember you telling me that it was one of those things where they weren't like really publicizing.
We
where
just
it was
need you to
gonna
get
be.
in this black car,
Yeah, you just get in
get
the
on this
helicopter.
plane.
You just get in there. You close your eyes. Didn't bring enough bags.
1080 Ti is supposed to be the final piece of the Pascal puzzle. My question is, how long is that puzzle going to be around? Because Pascal's been around for a while now. So here are the rumored specs for GTX 1080 Ti.
Ooh, rumored.
Now, you know I don't know anything about this because I wouldn't be talking about it if I was under NDA. So that's got to tell you
right.
something right there,
All
right?
right, fair enough. Nvidia can't come after you and clip your nuts off. Let's
Okay,
go.
GP10, rumored to be a GP102 core, which is the same core that's on Titan X, 16 nanometer FinFET.
I would have expected that.
12 billion transistors, 471 millimeters squared for the chip size. Again, it's mirroring everything going down with Titan X. A base clock of 1503, which is higher than the Titan's 1417. A boost clock of 1623, which is higher than Titan's 1531. It's funny about that 1531. I forgot how massive my overclock was because I run mine at 2050 every day. So that's a 520 or 19.
Is that a common achievable overclock, or you just got God
on water?
covered?
No, on water, yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay.
Pascal overclocks like a boss. Okay, so
well, yeah. What is that? A 25% overclock? Is that what that is?
30. It's like a 30%.
30. Oh, Jesus.
Let's see. Pull up my calculator here. Yeah, 256 less CUDA cores, which pretty much is like exactly how it went with 980 Ti and Titan X Maxwell. So yeah, it's exactly the same across the board, except it's got 10 gigabytes of GDDR5X, and it is 256 CUDA cores less, at an anticipated $400 cheaper. Its launch price has a little asterisk next to it because they're just like, we don't know, $800.
So the speculation is basically everybody just cut all the numbers in half between a 1080 and a Titan, basically, and just said this is where it's probably going to sit.
No. What's 256 shaved off of 3524? Hold on.
Calculator time.
Like I could do that shit in my head.
We don't do math in our heads. Why we got into computers? God damn it.
Yeah, it's what is that? 19%. It's 19% less CUDA cores.
That's significant.
No, it's not.
19% is significant
No.
as shit.
Wait,
Are you kidding me?
Is that how my math is terrible here? Hold on.
19 is almost 20%. 20% is 1/5.
No.
Of
You
the
hold
total
on.
cores.
I did wrong. I did bad.
Oh, you did it bad. Okay.
It's
Don't you be telling me no 20% ain't significant, Jay.
7.1%. It's 7.1% less CUDA cores. And
trying to tell me 20% don't matter. Jeez, if you hey,
20%
if your dick is 20% longer than everybody else in the locker room, you're the king. 20% matters. Okay? I'm gonna throw that out there. 20%. Sorry, that's the only analogy I can think of in my head.
Hobbs is in Skype, right?
Oh, I see him. Yeah.
Yeah, but he Skyped me right now. He was like because he was at DreamHack, so that's where I met him for the first time. No, the second time technically, because we met at PDX, right?
Right.
He was like, they literally had a giant bus that said NVIDIA for them to get on.
Yeah, he messaged me that too, and I was like, yeah, just get on the bus. Get on the bus. Well, was it even the right font, or was it just like a big banner off of like a DOS Matrix printer?
The charter buses that NVIDIA chartered, they had them custom wrapped in the NVIDIA like Pascal triangular green like design. Yep. So the buses were green and said NVIDIA all down the side of them. They were custom wrapped buses. It was pretty neat.
That's pretty cool. Somebody's getting triggered by me having different wallpapers, so I'm going to fix this so they don't have an epileptic seizure.
You need to have like the badger dance happening on one. Oh my God, what are you doing over there?
Oh, it does a scan line first, and then it starts the matrix.
Oh, okay.
It like pre-populates the screen with some shadows, and then it starts.
So I was like, what? That and those aren't supposed to be vastly different.
That's different enough. At least you can't see the top screen. The top screen's got like this weird like event horizon thing going where the matrix is coming out of both sides.
Let me tell you what we can see, though. We can see the terrible off-axis viewing degradation, though, on those screens with that camera angle.
Oh yeah, no. These screens have to be like dead on point at your face. They're not IPS panels.
Yeah.
I mean, how much would it cost to get a freaking 54-inch IPS panel? It'd be expensive.
Why don't you have 3 OLEDs in there?
Because I can't afford it, Jay. I just spent $10,000 on a bed. I'm broke.
Dang it, I'm broke. Battery. You're broke?
Yep, that's all I had. I had to finance a bed.
I just spent more money than I wanted on equipment, but that's fun. At least it's fun.
Actually, I'm going to write it off as a business expense, too, because my fatigue has been the issue. I found the solution to my fatigue, so I bought it.
Tell me how that one goes.
Hey, I can do it. You watch me. You watch me. I'll leave you sleeping. I'll do a sleeping live stream. Sleeping live stream. That's business.
I can't work without a happy ending massage every single week that I have to write off as business.
Write it off. Write it off, dude.
Jeez.
You can.
All right, let's move forward. What's happening in the world of tech right now? Let's try and have a tech conversation. That's always boring.
Yeah. Wow.
Boring. The big announcement we made last week, obviously, about the show going on hiatus. We are looking at after this show, we got two more
Two more shows. Okay, I was kind of leaving everybody on a ledge because I honestly didn't know how many more you wanted to do.
I could
kind
just
of
be
assumed
like,
today that when you were in the studio, I was like, oh, we're gonna quit it today. I thought today was gonna
Did
be the
that
last
studio look ready to go to you?
That studio did not look great. Well, for me, it would be.
Okay.
I mean, I'd just walk in there with my hand cam and sit in the corner and shoot a vlog. I'd be fine.
Your fetal depression vlog.
Yeah, that's all I do, Jay. Those are the only videos that get any views. So those are the ones I do now.
The fetal vlogs.
Yeah. I actually made a video right before this where I said I'm not making another depression video. I actually made a video saying I'm not going to do it because that's how often I do it.
Before.
No, I don't.
So you've already lied.
No, well, no, I did. I did lie, but it's different now.
So how is it different?
Jay, you wouldn't understand. You just wouldn't understand. It's different now because I'm older and I'm wiser and I'm fatter. And I'm going to get sleep now. I didn't have sleep deprived before, Jay. Sleep deprived.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, the sleep deprivation. Sleep. See, I can't even speak words, just like you. The sleep deprivation prevented.
That's because of the drugs, not because
it prevented me from. Actually, I'm. Did I take anything today? Oh, I took my Adderall. Today. Actually, that should have fixed a lot of shit. The Adderall is supposed to make me smarter.
AMD ends Windows 8.1 32-bit support with the latest Radeon software release. Is that why so many people's Radeon systems were breaking? No, who still runs 32-bit operating system though? And if you do, why?
I think that most of the 32-bit stuff now is ran as virtual machines, and it's for legacy software. Because even though you're running 32-bit software in Windows, you're doing it on top of something called side-by-side assemblies and Windows on Windows, the WoW system. So if you run a native 32-bit operating system, that's your best environment for running 32-bit software, period, for legacy stuff. Newer stuff, it doesn't really matter, but for old stuff, it matters.
Intel spills the beans on the new Optane memory, saying it requires Kaby Lake. That's not a surprise, because it's a bit of an ecosystem that goes along with Kaby Lake. I actually was not able to go to the Optane event thingy. I had obligations.
Yeah, Intel's kind of getting, they're kind of in bed with Microsoft. I mean, they really are, because you see all the stuff talking about Windows 10 getting the most potential out of the next generation of hardware. You're going to start seeing that extend into everything more and more. What are you laughing at?
Is it just the headline? Bill Gates says my robots should pay taxes.
Oh God! Don't even. Okay, let's talk about that. That's a good one. Let's talk about that.
What is? I haven't read the article. What is it?
I'll explain it to you. Okay, so Bill Gates seems to think that since robots are replacing human jobs, like let's say assembly workers, and even in restaurants now, they're using kiosks and automation, not just robots, automation in general. He wants basically businesses to pay taxes on those as if they were workers and at the salary that they'd normally be working for. So if you bought a robot for $500,000, now you have to assume that it's doing the work of a $50,000 a year position and pay taxes on that $50,000.
Okay, I understand that. I understand. Okay, I understand.
Here, tell me what you think.
Well, okay, let me put it this way. Being incorporated and an employee of my corporation and all that stuff, and also the CEO of the corporation, I get the unique perspective of being able to see how payroll and payroll taxes work from both perspectives, from both the employer and the employee.
Sure.
The employer, especially in the state of California, pays half of all payroll taxes, which are things like SSDI or short-term disability, workers' comp, all that sort of stuff. So actually, to be fair, the employer pays all workers' comp. But anyway, I pay half of the payroll taxes. So when you get a paycheck and you get to deal with those shitty deductions or those withholdings, right? The money that goes, okay, you made $1,000 this month or whatever, 250 of it goes to the government, right? And then that gets divvied up amongst all the programs. What really happened was, at least in the state of California, is the total taxes were $500. It's just the employer is responsible for paying half of those. So I feel that now. But I also understand that part of paying someone is a stimulation of the economy as well, right? What makes the world turn is money and the economy. And as an employee, you need money to live. If you don't have money to live, there's a breakdown of capitalism.
I'm with you so far. So far, you're making sense.
I also had to pay to build and put those robots in their place. Okay.
Yes, but that's my point.
Right.
My point is somebody had to build.
I had to pay taxes. If I'm the robot, the owner, the CEO of this robot army, I had to pay the taxes to put those robots into deployment.
That's right.
So why on earth should I have to and then pay the government?
And not only did you pay taxes, you paid however many hundreds of thousands of dollars it cost to buy that robot. Let me ask you, Jay.
which kept those builders in businest.
Let me ask you a question. When you hired Coconut Money,
Coconut Money, yeah,
that should be his rapper name.
Coconut
Your
Money.
rapper name is Coconut Money. When you hired Nick, did you hand him a check for $500,000, pay taxes on that, and then say, "Hey, Nick, we're gonna just go ahead and pay your taxes every year for as long as you live or as long as you work here"? Like, you wouldn't do that. That makes no sense. The only time that it makes sense is if you hire a robot. Let's say you don't buy a robot. Let's say you lease a robot. You're leasing the robot for whatever money you lease it for, then I can see paying income tax on the lease. But that's like as far as I would go. If you're buying the robot outright and the economy is being stimulated by the people that build and maintain those robots as the alternate jobs that are now replaced in the field where the robots are working, I don't see a problem. I don't see why you would pay taxes on that. The only thing I could see this doing is discouraging people from moving to automation because they make it prohibitively expensive. That's the only thing I could see coming of that.
Do you think a fair analogy of this is being like, you should have to pay additional taxes on your car because now the taxi driver doesn't get to give you a ride somewhere?
It kind of is. It's similar, right? It's similar. You're not using the taxi system. You're not using public transit. So now you got to pay tax. Actually, you kind of do already, though, Jay. Right? Your tabs and everything like that. We all do pay the tax one way or another. It seems really weird to be like Dexter behind me, right? You got Dexter arms sitting back here. I mean, am I gonna have to start paying on $25,000 a year because that's how much a happy ending goes for at the massage parlor? I don't know. Do I got to pay that taxes now because Dexter's doing it?
No, okay. When you're still the richest guy in the world, it's easy to be like, blah 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 should pay this, blah blah blah.
Right.
But my question is, how much money would he technically have to spend in all of the manufacturing robots that technically are robots that are working?
Shitloads, because the most automated industry in existence is software.
Unless the argument is a human could never do this job.
See, now I think that's a fair argument that should put it outside the boundaries. Like if you're using a robotic arm that's working in a nuclear core where a regular human would die, then you can't tax that thing like an employee because you couldn't hire an employee to do that job in the first place.
Do you have to carry workers' comp on said robot?
Apparently, yeah. If it catches fires, do you got to pay its reassembly bill?
Well, yeah, you do.
We start having yeah, I know, right? We start having reassembly hospitals and stuff. It'll be just like Futurama. It's kind of a weird topic though, because it kind of opens up a can of worms if you do that, because it's not just robotic arms, it's automation in general. So even a kiosk, which is arguably your freaking computer that takes credit cards on the counter, why is that any different than if you just walk up to a fully automated computer that takes your credit card versus a human being hitting some buttons and taking your credit card?
Or like a lot of the places that have started replacing the tellers at fast food places with automated tellers taking your order, like McDonald's, because they were like, you want $15 an hour? Nope. This kiosk can do it for one upfront cost, and we don't need to hire you anymore.
Oh, you know what they're doing up here? I wonder if they're doing it down there too, where restaurants are retaliating now by putting the increased pay and as a new tax, their own little fee that they're putting onto the bill. So now you get a check and it says, oh, ham sandwich, $5, 6% additional fee added for minimum wage hike. We're getting that up here now.
Yeah, I believe it, because that's what happens. Is I don't want to get too far off of the tech conversation, but
sure,
that's what happens. Is costs that are added onto a company because of legislation changes always gets passed on to the consumer. Always, it doesn't. The companies never pick up those costs of doing business that goes up.
Right.
So anyway, it was kind of neat though. The first time I got to experience one of those McDonald's self-order kiosk, and I couldn't understand it. I walked in. And this was the McDonald's by Disneyland a few months back, right? So it's pretty busy. Sure. I walk in, there's probably 30 people in line. There's 4 cash registers that are open. That wouldn't take too long. But then I noticed behind, more towards where the tables are, there's these 2 islands, and on either side of it, there's a little order kiosk, it almost looks like a big giant TV that's vertical, and it's all touchscreen, right? And there's 4 of them, one on each side. So there's a total of 4. And I'm going, it says order here, and I'm looking at that. And I'm looking at the people in line, and I'm looking at that, and I'm going, why is nobody using these? Maybe they're not working? So I went over there and was like, push start, and it's like, oh, pick your... Because McDonald's now doesn't have, they still have the Big Mac meal and stuff, but it's more or less like artisan sandwiches now, so you can kind of, pick the toppings and stuff you want on it.
Yep.
So I was just like, let's see, I need 2 chicken nugget kids meals, okay. Let's see, the wife wants a chicken sandwich, boom, 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 done, boom, 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 done. I want this drink, I want this size. grab a number. Like next to it, there's a number, right? You have to see the number and tell it what number it is. I pick the number,
Yep.
put the number in. Like it's like, please pay. I put the card in, and then I'm just like probably 60 seconds, and then I look around and I'm going, I just ordered, and nobody in line has moved. Why are you people not using this? I literally turned around to the person standing in line. I was like, kind of makes you wonder why no one's using this, huh?
Yeah.
He's like, ugh, just kind of like mumbles at me, right? So then I go and sit down. Literally, my food is at the table within 4 minutes, and
Yeah.
everyone is still standing in line.
You know,
So
as
it's
well
like-
as Starbucks is the same way, right? You
Yeah,
use
yeah.
the little app and you pull up and it's like your drink's sitting there while there's like 100 other people still trying to order.
But my question literally is, why was no one using this? And I'm thinking, well, maybe they're paying cash, right? And I watched when I was sitting there because I was fascinated by this machine because we had talked about it on Tech Talk before that these things were taking the places
Right.
of people complaining about minimum wage. And I'm watching it like the first 3 people that went to pay all pulled out their ATM card. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? What is wrong with you people?
I think people just are oblivious to this technology. They're so used to just ordering from a human being. And the funny thing is the human being is like 50% fallible.
The thing
Every
was,
time.
the thing was
What?
like the print, the text was small and the pictures were big. I mean, literally, like an ape could order from this thing. Like, Harambe himself could have ordered his own sandwich. He could be like, ugh, and just like point at this picture and touch the picture for all the toppings and just be like, ugh, and done. You don't even have to be able to speak like English. And it would transcend any language barrier because
Wait,
you're
are we talking alive Harambe or after Harambe?
even now he could. Okay,
Yeah, that easy.
that's how easy
Okay.
it was.
Fair enough.
But I was thinking to myself, I was completely, I could not come up with an answer as to why no one was using it. I
It
personally
makes no sense to me.
Look, as a misanthrope myself, I personally appreciated the lack of human interaction. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, the thing, this is another thing too, is I think it almost might be a cultural thing because I've gone into grocery stores before where they have the checkout, self checkout where it's like just walk over, scan your 2 items, get out, and yet you
Yeah.
still see people. They have 2 cans of like 2 cans of soup in a little handheld basket, and they're waiting in a line of like 8 people, and there's like nobody over at the self checkout area.
Yeah.
I think
I
people
don't-
are just afraid of technology still. Like there's still that generation looming around that just isn't quite sure about it yet.
Like for instance, like Lowe's, not so much Home Depot, but Lowe's has those self-checkout counters now,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
The last 2 times or so I went to Lowe's with Nick, the like company managed registers for checkout were all closed. The only thing open was the self-checkout with a person standing there, 1 to make sure you didn't steal shit, and 2 and help you if you got stuck. It was
Yeah,
pretty
and
funny.
it makes sense because you don't have to pay anybody to operate that stuff. Everybody just like
Yeah.
moves on through. It's like cattle.
Well,
Ugh.
I'm perfectly okay with the argument of if you feel that you're worth more than you're getting, then by all means we'll let technology take your space.
And if
You
you're
know.
worried about automation taking your job, then
You
go
should
get
be.
a job making the automation. Yeah, you should be first and foremost. Hey, I'll be honest. I'm out of a job because of automation myself.
You programmed your replacement.
I programmed my replacement. I quite literally
you
did.
and I talked
created-
about that because you were a
Yep.
testing automation engineer and you spent
Yep.
so many years building testing automation that inevitably replaced you. And look how
The
well
last-
it's working.
yep.
Look how well it's working, Jerry.
I know. The last 5 years of my career were spent architecting, designing, and building Drive UI, which is still in use today, running the 5,000 scenarios that we used to run manually.
I don't think you caught my tone there. Look how well it's working, Jerry.
Oh, shitty. Okay, fair enough. Fair
I guess
enough.
we
I'll
know
give
what
you that.
level of work
I'll
you
give you-
provided.
I'll give you that. Hey, it worked great when I was around to keep fixing it. See, exactly my point. You still need a human being to service the automation. It's not going to just work autonomously
You
forever.
program in these trigger fails.
I did. I put a thing in there that said if my email address stops registering in the Active Directory, then just shut down and start throwing random exceptions. Actually, that would have been genius.
Just shut
That
down
would
and
have been hilarious.
shut down and start demanding more money.
Dude, that'd be great. Why didn't I do that? I should have put a module in all my code that literally just said, if my name doesn't resolve in Active Directory, then go ahead and just stop working. Just exit.
Would it have tied into it?
It would have. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, all the computers at Microsoft, including them, because they keep intellectual property secure, all the machines have to be encrypted, and they all have to be encrypted and connected to Active Directory, the domain controller.
That's
at
exactly
Microsoft.
how our systems were set up.
Yeah, so I could have totally
we were dealing with millions of client or millions of customer client data because remember we wrote software for the power companies.
Yeah.
So we had to have the same level of encryption, and we used Active Directory and all that stuff too.
But you know as well as I that you're only as secure as your weakest link. And the funny thing at Microsoft
which is the IT ops department.
Yeah, no, it was. No, you're not even kidding. You're not, no kidding, because we had this thing called Windows Testing Technology, which is basically the automation harness that you'd say, hey, go run some shit on a computer. It would pick the computer at random from some enterprise, run that met your requirements, run the shit, and then give you back the results, right? Mm-hmm. And so that we called them lights out labs that would do this. Well, they gave us this thing that was because we were like, we need a level of permission to play with the source code, the Windows source code. Right. So they actually created a lab account and gave it access to the source code that we could then run jobs through the automated system to interact with that source code. So somebody wrote a job that just literally ran on the computer, accessed the source code, downloaded it all, pushed it out to another share, and then put it on his hard drive.
Jeez.
So, and the funny thing is, they fingerprint the source code from whoever touches it, so that they know, if a copy gets out in the wild, who it belongs to. Guess who the code belonged to?
You.
The lab account.
Oh.
Not me. No, nobody. The lab account. It's untraceable.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So now all these leaked builds that are all over the place on Usenet and everything, they go and try to look at the fingerprint to figure out which employee done fucked up, and it says it's the lab account. So they got nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the kind of dumb shit I had to deal with when I worked there.
Zombie Slayer 07 says dropping frames like a boss. Hey, but I haven't dropped a single frame yet tonight. Not a single frame.
Same thing happens when I was the whole weekend when I was streaming on Twitch. Guys, actually, that's another thing I want to talk about really quick. I am starting a routine live stream. The schedule will be up next week. I had a blast streaming. For once, I went to PDX Land and I streamed my ass off and had a blast. Jay, you need to get back to streaming on Twitch.
I don't want to.
You should.
I don't want to.
It's fun because you can do this little thing with bits.
No,
cups where, like, little bits rain down. It's kind of fun.
Maybe I will from the studio with the baller internet, but not this internet.
There you go. Yeah, no, you can't do shit with this internet. This internet has failed you.
Let's see here. I'm going to start reading some of the donation comments. That way I don't... I want to get out of here right at 6:30. I want to kick my shoes off. They're already off. I want to kick my feet up. Let's see. Oh, and guys, I did tour the studio today. Today was the official move-out date for the current tenant. The place is emptied, and I did my walkthrough, so we got to see what stuff needs to be done and prep for me moving in. So it's happening. We are so close. And I sent pictures to Nick. He got to see it. Jerry got to see it. What did you think without saying anything to give it away? Like
it's badass. It's way bigger than I thought it would be, honestly. So I'll say that much.
It's 2 levels with a balcony.
Yeah. It looks cool too. It actually it's very industrial. I thought it was going to be like an apartment, like a house apartment or something. No, it's very industrial. I like that.
Well, it's a loft. It's an industrial style loft with exposed rafters and all that stuff. That building was like built in like the 30s, and it used to be a manufacturing facility that about 10 years ago, maybe it was more like 15 years ago, was bought and renovated to be a very industrial retail center.
That's really cool.
So there's a lot of like rusticness, if you will.
Yeah, the floor was cool. I like the floor. I won't say
polished concrete.
But it was, well, you see, now you just gave it away, Jay.
I already said that, though. I said that before. It's polished concrete.
No, you didn't. It's nice. It's nice. Is there a lot of echo in there that you're going to have to knock down?
There is a ton of echo. But that's why I'm going to be strategically doing wall treatment, as well as that's why I have my hypercardioid mic to help at least get a lot of that out.
But I'd be curious to see if you can knock most of that down, though, just putting like in a couple bass traps and some strategically placed sound tiles.
What's more important is where I'm facing. And I will be facing more out into the open high ceiling area, which will help a little bit. Right now, a lot of the echo in there is from the bare concrete floors with nothing on them, no carpet, nothing on the walls. So I'll do the best I can with it. It won't be too bad.
Are you going to try to shoot with natural light, or are you going to do all?
No, it's artificial light for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I don't. I'm not going to rely on natural light because it's always changing. Especially this winter, we've had so much more storms and stuff than expected. Okay,
well, I've got 6 donations. So you read yours, I'll read mine, and then we'll just soldier on.
There's quite a bit more than 6 on my end. So
well, that's because people love you. They don't like me anymore.
Me a minute. No, I feel like
I say curse words and talk about dicks and stuff, and they don't like it.
Look, last week there was a lot of emails of people saying that some of the anonymous donations were because they were like, we want to entice you to stay. Guys, the donations don't entice me to stay. They sure as hell help, but we don't do the live stream for the donations. We really don't. People are going to say we do.
Yeah.
Whatever. You don't know us.
Well, actually, no, Jay, I have to change my flip. I am doing the live stream now for the donations because I need to pay for the expensive ass bed that I went and bought.
Oh, well, you want to actually seek some sponsorship, dude.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Big Mike says, love the channel, Jay. Looking to do a first build in 9 years. Love your Praxis test bench build. Would that be a practical for an everyday gaming PC? Open benches like that have a dust issue. Obviously, all the dust can just freely fall on the system. Two, there's no fans blowing over your motherboard, so you'd have to get some sort of a swivel arm or something with a fan on it to direct airflow where it needs to be. A lot of people do open test benches now just because they're neat and they're different. I mean, I don't see any reason why not.
Cool. Why not just take one of those test benches and just put some standoffs on it and put a piece of plexi over the top so you can direct some airflow through it, keep some of the dust off, and then just magnetic. You just pop it off.
Well, Lee has a brand new test bench that's just like that. It actually has a top that can be put on and taken off that's plexi.
That's cool. So, I would go for something like that.
Yeah. I'm supposed to do a review of that. It's just I put all of the new review requests on hold until after I moved into the studio. Today I got the new storage units too because I've got to deal with getting the shop in order and getting things set up in storage. Then we're going to be moving into the studio in about 2 weeks. Can't
don't
wait.
mess
So
around.
excited.
Don't mess
I can't
around.
mess around. I'm time to mess around. What are you talking about?
You don't mess around. This guy's the real deal.
Okay,
Real deal Holyfield.
Earl Sanders says, "Hey Jay, love your work and congrats on the new shop. Jerry, is that a MG10XU that does allow you to mix reverb into the mix? Keep up the good work, guys."
Yes, it does.
William P says, glad I finally caught a live stream. Thanks, Verizon Unlimited Data. Yeah, I just got the unlimited data plan too. Was really sad I missed the Willow Springs track day since I only live 3 miles from there. Keep up the great work, guys. I'll be back at Willow again this year. Don't worry.
Yeah, Jay's gonna have like sponsored NASCAR by the end of the year 3. He's going.
Streets of Willow is so much fun.
You're gonna see JayzTwoCents on the Marlboro car. Out of Talladega. You just wait, Jay.
No, I had this idea of having a YouTube sponsored race team. Not YouTube sponsored, but YouTube being the platform that the racing team gets the exposure on, and having it be one of the first like fully YouTube powered race teams. That's something I'm working on.
That'd be cool.
And I don't want to be the driver. No, of course not. So
Right.
John McMillan says, "Hey Jay, I have the Enthu Lux TG. Was curious if I put a 240 rad on the bottom instead of the front, would it be a bad spot for it? Would like to keep the 2 intake fans on the front free for more airflow. 360 rad on the top, 120 in the back." So I don't think there's a reason to add a 120 in the back, personally. If you're going to be having a 360 and a 240, even if you're running SLI.
A lot of rad.
So yeah, put it on the front. There shouldn't be any issue with it on the front. You could put it on the floor, depending on if it's on carpet or on a desk, you might choke off some of the airflow. Look, I have a video where I talk about front-mounted rads do not really negatively affect the system at all. I even used a air temperature sensor, measuring the temperature of the air entering the PC in the front, and then measuring the air exiting the PC out the back after going with an overclocked CPU on water, doing stress testing, and the temperatures were negligible. So just put it on the front and make it easier on you. Putting it on the floor is going to be harder because of your PSU and cables and all that stuff. Not to mention that means the rad is probably going to be lower than your pump, which is going to make it even harder to bleed the system over time. Wolfgang Iceclaw? Watch him be like, don't say my name.
Say my name. I am Russian hitman. You not say my name.
When I'm sitting here going like, I'm kind of skimming to make sure they're not like, don't read my name, which we always end up reading their name. I apologize. For the first time I've been able to watch you guys live. Here's $30. Thank you. Curse you for getting me back into water cooling. I've cost you much more than $30, I promise.
Jay has cost a lot of people a lot of money.
A lot of people cost me a lot of money too.
Hey, come to me. I'll tell you about the air cooling. It's cheaper. Work longer. Much better. Much better.
You hold your tongue. Okay. The last time I water cooled was back when we had to use fountain and fish tank parts with my Athlon 64FX and GeForce 6800. That ended in disaster when the CPU block leaked, frying my CPU Mobo and GPU.
And it always did. Every last one of those damn things did.
That's back when Danger Den was a big player.
Yep.
Let's see. Your videos and kits from EK have convinced me to take my brave pill and try again. Keep up the good work and good luck with the new studio. Dude, we've come a long way since those days, man. Reliability is way
non-conductive coolants, better pumps, better seals, better materials.
But don't buy into non-conductive coolants because they turn conductive over time.
Do they really? Just from picking up minerals and stuff in the loop?
Well, they pick up ions from the metal.
Oh.
Because they're constantly touching metals, especially different kinds of metals, different grades of copper, nickel plating, stuff like that. All the non-conductive coolants do pick up some degree of conductivity.
Still safer than not, though, really? I mean, like at least for initial testing?
only until it's picked up conductivity again, and how long that takes really depends on a lot of factors.
That's true. You really don't know, right? You really
Yeah.
don't. So,
Let's see. Hazelbacker says, I put together a build in the Corsair Bulldog 2.0 for a HTPC VR rig. Yeah, if you guys don't know, it's a very like stereo receiver shaped type of system.
Yep.
After finishing, I plugged it into the wall, and before pushing the power button, it tripped the breakers in my house. Tried it in another part of the house, and the same thing happened. Could it be a PSU issue?
oh, it's most definitely a PSU issue because they don't make a PSU that's big enough to pop a breaker all by itself, right?
It would have to be. There's no way you could. Everything's keyed now. There's no way you could have plugged anything wrong into the power supply. And not only that, most of the stuff like PCI Express power, CPU power, EP or 24 pin and EPS power aren't going to do anything until the breaker inside of, or the relay inside of the PSU trips to turn it on. If it's popping the second you're plugging it in, that's a bad PSU. But there's something you need to check. He didn't say which power supply he's using, and some of them are dual regional compliant, where there's a switch on the back where you can switch it from 120 to 240.
Yep.
Some of the older PSUs used to have that. Make sure that if you have a switchable voltage on the back, that you have it on the proper one for wherever you live. That's a big deal.
Necessarily pop the breaker if he's going 220 down to 110. Where is he? Is he United States or?
He doesn't say.
Oh, okay. Well, the thing is that power supply should not be pulling its full one, even if it was, let's say, like a 1500 watt or something. It should not be pulling its full power.
True.
Initially, when you flip it on, so that tells me that something probably in the power supply shorted out.
No, he's not even saying when he flips it on. He's saying when he plugs it into the wall.
Oh shit!
That's gotta be a short.
That's a short. Because until you actually trip the power supply to kick over, it's pulling a very nominal voltage, just enough to power the loop, the mechanism to short to fire it up.
Right.
So yeah, that's bad. I wouldn't use that.
I'm curious as to what PSU he has, honestly.
Oh, one other thing he could try too is make sure he doesn't plug it into an outlet that has a GFI. You know those little outlets that have the reset brake button on them. Mm-hmm. They're hypersensitive to AC/DC voltage conversion. I found this out with my soldering iron. Just make sure that if you plug it in, it pops the breaker. And when you're saying breaker, you mean the GFI. Put it on a different circuit that's not on a GFI. Some houses now, for some reason, they put GFIs on everything. Well, like the new houses, they all have them.
Yeah, this house here was built in 2004. Of course, the bathrooms all have it. That's code. That's required.
Yeah, the bathrooms have to, so you don't die when you get in the bathtub with the toaster.
Hobbs said that it came across as a USD donation. All of my garages have it too. All my garage plugs for some reason. And what's funny is the one in my shop. You've seen the layout of my house, okay?
I have.
The one in my shop that I have the PC plugged into there every now and then trips, and I don't know why. But the GRC or whatever. What's the name of the circuit? I can't remember. The little built-in trick.
Oh, it's no, you're right. It's G. Is it GC? No, not GCC.
Anyway,
GRC. I think. No, that's Global Rallycross.
The built-in,
it's something like that. G. Damn it! I know this. GFI.
GFI.
Thank you. God damn, so many acronyms.
So the one that controls the plug where the PC's plugged into in the shop is in the garage in front of Nizzy, like on the wall where you hung the jersey after our ride.
Yep.
That's weird. They're so far apart. So when that plug, the first time that plug tripped when we moved in here, and I had no idea why, had to call an electrician to come and figure it out. He picked it up right away. I was like, how the hell did you figure out that was wired in over here to this? And what's funny is he was like, I could see the yellow light from over here.
Yeah, we have a GFI in the kitchen. All the outlets in the kitchen are on it, but on the other side of the bar, the outlet
GFCI.
and the outlet was it
GFCI?
GFCI. Okay, all the way across the way, there's another outlet on the wall. So 4 outlets are connected to this thing. So I plug in my soldering iron, out in the living room, and it pops, and I can hear it trip the thing. And the kitchen, I'm like, holy shit! I can't believe they put all this stuff on that little breaker. It's annoying.
I just find it funny though that this one's on the opposite end of the house, complete opposite ends.
And they're super sensitive to high startup voltage.
Yeah.
That's like what happens if you plug in anything like hair dryers are okay because they build the hair dryer to have a little capacitor in it so it doesn't do that initial crazy draw.
Yeah.
But yeah, you plug like a space heater in it and you like turned up 1500 to hit the switch, pops the damn thing every time.
Well,
they're too sensitive.
Again, the second he plugs it in, shouldn't pop it though. I mean, startup voltage maybe for starting the PC, but yeah, I would start with a new PC.
And if it's popping an actual breaker in the box, those things take a lot to break. You have to go significantly over the rated voltage to pop those things.
If it's in the US, it's probably going to be a 15 amp.
I actually crept up to 2100 watts on a 15 amp breaker, which is overrated spec. And because I ramped the power up slowly, it did not trip it.
That's dangerous.
It's very dangerous because the wire on the wall is heating up the whole time, and I was fully aware of this. But I'm just saying the breakers they're designed to save against like an obnoxious startup voltage. So yeah, short.
Right.
It's a short. I think we're gonna say it's a short.
Stumped PC says I pre-ordered an 1800X and I'm happy to swap it into my build, replacing the FX 8350 and 990 Mobo. Get it set up today. Get it set up to debut as one as one of my first builds on my channel. He said debut. It's actually debut as one of the first builds on your channel. Good, man. That's going to be a huge jump from your 8350. Jeez, that's good. You aren't going to know what to do with yourself with all that newfound power. Notepad do texy. Notepad do text or whatever. First of all, keep doing what you do, Jay. All the haters are just jealous. Well, I wouldn't say all of them, but definitely some. I currently have my 4790. Yeah, I know you are. I currently have my 4790K stable at 4.8. That's higher than I could get mine, by the way, at 1.32 volts. I have recently read some people trying to keep them under 1.3 and was wondering if that's too high of a V-core for Devil's Canyon. I would say 1.35 is where you want a stable low. So I think you're good there at 1.32, man. Patrick Armstrong says, Jay, I know you hate it when people ask you about cards that aren't out yet, but would you recommend buying a 1080 now, even with the possibility of a 1080 Ti coming out soon? Jerry, I love all the videos. Recently, keep it up. My dad works for Microsoft, and he says everyone in his building, Treasury, that Windows 10 sucks. As well, everyone hates the IT department. Hee hee.
Tell your dad to steal as many reams of paper out of the office supply room as possible and stockpile them, and that'll be like his retirement.
Jeez.
I'm not saying I did that, but
I would not recommend buying a 1080 now, because I have to assume when the 1080 Ti launches that there's going to be a small shift in price downward across the board, at least for the 1070 and 1080. Guaranteed the 1080, maybe not so much a 1070. But how would you feel right now if you paid $700 for a 1080? Or
I would be mad.
$689 or whatever, and then the new price is $599.
I would be mad because this shit happens to me more than any other person on planet Earth. Like the fact that I bought this iPhone 7 the other day, I guarantee the iPhone 8 is going to come out in like 4 days.
Look, if the new 1080 Ti is going to come out, it's going to be at Nvidia's new event. Event happening at GDC. It's going to be within a week.
True.
Just wait.
Because they'll have to announce it. It's not like it's going to just like start showing up in store shelves and they're going to be like, haha, we really fooled those guys.
And they are going to announce what's going to happen with pricing.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what they did with the 700 series and the 900 series when they did the very same thing. They announced the new product and then the new price lineup. So wait.
So maybe wait for GDC, and then if they don't announce anything, figure it's a fair bet to just buy the 1080.
If they don't announce anything, then I wouldn't
buy the 1080.
There's anything left to wait for.
Yep, and the 1080 is badass. Even by today's standards, the 1080 is still a monster card.
Let's see. Nick Price says, hey, Jay, I just started watching you a couple months ago. Love what you're doing. As an ad block user who's watched a shit ton of your videos, I want to support your channel. Wow, $50 donation. You just supported for like 10 years.
Son.
He just paid like 10 years worth of views.
Yeah, I think $50 about, 10 to 15 years of hard video watching right there. Good job.
Sad to see the Tech Talk ending hiatusing, but excited to see what's coming next with the new studio. Thanks to you, I'm planning to water cool my 6700K later this year. First time ever doing water cooling. Question. I have the funds available, feeling like I shouldn't skimp on parts here and pay a quality for EK and bits power. Is the thinking sound here, or should I not be spending as much? Looking at $600 in parts so far. I would say water cooling is going to be as safe as the quality of the parts that you use.
Don't cheap out on water cooling. I did, and there's nothing but problems.
I
bought the cheapest hose, and it was like deteriorating in the liquid.
Look, if you stay with the brands that specialize in water cooling, and they are the main players, EK, Bits Power, Primo Chill, XSPC starts to move down the line a little bit in terms of quality compared to the brands that I just mentioned. SwiftTech being a little bit lower even, but as long as you stay with like not eBay knockoff type parts, unbranded parts, then you're going to have a much better chance of being leak free than if you went like, look, this fitting's only $3 on eBay versus paying. Look, Bits Power has a premium price in their fittings, $10-15 a fitting. That's expensive. Okay, you could spend. Do you know how much the fittings cost in the Skunkworks alone? Like $300 in fittings. The glass,
that was the most expensive part of my whole build back when I did it.
Look, the glass build that I did for the Nano S build that has elbows plus fittings in every single bend, that was like $450 in fittings alone. Ridiculous.
Jesus.
But you get what you pay for, and the quality is there on those. So I would not skimp on that.
Don't skimp, and for the love of God, please test without any components in the system first.
No, you can test it. You can test it with components in the system. Just put paper towels and stuff anywhere there's a fitting, so you can try and soak up any sort of leaks. And use one of the jumpers. You can even use a paper clip, putting the green wire in the black wire, or look at the pinout to determine which ones those are if they're not colored power supply, or just pay the $2 or whatever it costs to get the jumper, and power on the power supply, powering the pump, but not plugged into any of the components, and you can run your system that way and make sure it's not leaking. That's how I do it.
Yeah, I actually just bought one of those little like $5 plug into your ATX connector on-off switches, but you're right. You can just
$5. Good Lord, you overpaid.
Well, I think I got like 6 of them. It was like a bag of them for Bitcoin stuff.
Yeah.
So, because the Bitcoin miners run off of power supplies, but they don't have the trigger for the ATX.
I said in one of my videos that you could get it for like $2, and everyone told me, "Good Lord, that's expensive compared to a paperclip." The problem with the paperclip is you can make a boneheaded mistake and pin out the wrong ones. So
yeah, if your paperclip turns into a coffee cup heater, you've done it wrong.
As someone who used the paperclip method for years and years, there was a time or two I accidentally had it on the wrong pins and kept flipping on the power supply, only to have the breaker inside the power supply trip and do it like 6 times, going, "What the hell's wrong with this thing?" And then I realized, like, oh, here I am trying to force it to blow itself up.
Yeah, and you were lucky you had a breaker, because a lot of the cheaper power supplies just use a fuse on the inside, and then you got to go desolder that sumbitch and put a new one in.
Yeah, I've never cheaped out on power supplies, though. Usually the power supplies I have at least some sort of a fail-safe breaker that will trip once power is removed.
I'm of that same opinion, though. Don't ever skimp on the power supply. That's like the one thing you really want to have solid, because it's what feeds everything, right? That thing's a piece of shit. Everything's going to fry.
I've got 2 more here. Is waiting for Hobbs to copy them over. They came in. I haven't seen him copy them over yet, though. Oh,
damn it, Hobbs. Come on, Hobbs.
Cursors. Okay, here we go. Eric Steele says, "Sup, Jay and Jerry? Getting ready to water cool and checked out Water Cool's Heat Killer Tube 200D5. Think it's cool looking. Also, do you have any info on updated water blocks coming out for ICX GPUs?" Well, they didn't tell me I couldn't say anything. So I sent my ATX 1080 to EK. They are going to be making a water block for the ICX. They have my card to do it, just like I sent them the 1080 Founders Edition from NVIDIA. So
that's pretty damn cool.
So I sent them my ICX card this week. They will be making a block for it. The Heat Killer is also another brand that's very renowned when it comes to GPU water blocks. So I would say Heat Killer is a very reputable brand. The D5, the Tube 200 D5, to me, I'm going to deduce that that's a 200 millimeter reservoir with a D5 in it. Probably perfectly fine to use as well. Matt Maddox says, "Jay, check out GeForce.com. The 1080 Ti is definitely coming out." I'm assuming he's referring to the countdown timer that's on there. I'm well aware of it. Just, I mean, obviously...
What else would they be counting down to?
There's only so much I can say, though, obviously. So,
God damn it, Jay, you know, don't you?
I have no official information.
You know, though, don't you? You can tell us if you know. We just can't beat it out of you.
Can I say that I've never been to an NVIDIA event that didn't include hardware?
So that guy that donated a couple back, you might want to just hang in there.
Yeah. Like I said, NVIDIA does not give advanced, here's what we're launching notice to anything. Yeah. But I can say they don't do all the fanfare without it being something.
Yeah, and NVIDIA likes money. Okay, let's just be honest. NVIDIA likes money. They have a lot of it. They want more of it. So that's how you get it. You get it by coming out with new shit to make people buy it.
He said, "Just took the plunge for custom water cooling after 2 years of watching your channel. Good luck with the studio. Hope this helps." Every bit helps, man. I appreciate it a shit ton. Thank you, sir. I'm going to look real quick and see if there's any...
They're piling up over here, boss.
Go for it.
Get through them.
Go for it.
All right, Conrad Oleszowski. We've seen him tons of times on here. He donated $100. Holy cow.
Is that Conrad with a K?
It is.
Yeah, I remember
It is Conrad himself. He's been around. That guy's been around forever. Conrad says, "Hey, Jerry, thanks for answering my hard drive question last week. I ordered a new 4 terabyte drive. I only lost 800 gigabytes of games. Ouch. I have a question for both. What is a good way to increase horsepower in a car? I have a 2012 Jetta 2.5 5-cylinder. I'm getting a full exhaust system installed tomorrow with test pipes, tune, estimated 190-ish horsepower from 170. Well, you've already done like the easy bolt-on stuff. Realistically, if you want to develop more power out of it, if you've already gone the chip route, which is, tuning to your new exhaust and everything, is forced induction, which is supercharger or turbo. What do you think, Jay?
God, I could talk for an hour on this subject.
I mean, would you? What else could he do to the engine? I mean, he could port and polish and stuff, but that's a lot of money to do.
Port and polish is just about smoothing out the airflow. That doesn't. Yep. I mean that. And okay. Whew, okay. So where do I want to start here? To understand how to make more horsepower in a car, you have to understand how an engine makes power, and that is being the amount of fuel it can burn in the cylinder. Which is directly related to how much air is in that cylinder. So, like Jerry said,
and resistance. Port and polish reduces resistance on airflow, which gives you more power. It does.
So
we port and polished my dad's race engine and gave him an extra 50 horsepower on a big block V8.
Well, that porting though probably cleaned up a lot of casting material. I'm assuming too.
Fair enough. It opened up the flow through however they did it. But yeah, it was significant.
So getting more air into your engine, the easiest way to do that is turbos and stuff like that. On a naturally aspirated car, it's going to be about getting more duration and more lift of your valves to get more air into your engine. That's not a very easy thing to do. Most people don't go cam their 5-cylinder 2.5 Jettas.
Yeah. And not on a modern engine either. It's got like computerized timing and everything's already running on the Ragged Edge.
Right. Aside from the basic bolt-ons you just did, there's not going to be much you can do, honestly, to make that engine
intake, exhaust. If you wanted to, if the car's tuned to like not premium, if you're like a middle octane or something like that, you could tune it to higher octane. That'll give you more power because you can retard the timing.
Okay, so an intake 2 is only going to give you a power boost if the current tubing is restricting the amount of airflow that the engine is requesting. Mm-hmm. So there's a point where literally there's a
diminished returns.
Diminished returns on the amount of air that you can let in. A lot of people will go, I want to get this big old intake on here. But if the engine isn't requiring as much flow or CFM as that intake is able to supply, then you're not going to see any gains.
Yeah,
you could actually you could see increased turbulence, which would actually hurt your airflow.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say that. And I was also going to say same can happen on the exhaust side. A lot of people put exhausts on that expand way too fast out through the collector, and you end up getting turbulent exhaust. And you get turbulent exhaust, and it'll start robbing your power too because it's harder to push exhaust through.
Look, that's why I went with the Motordyne exhaust over something like the single Tomei. The Tomei exhaust would give me a weight advantage because it's single pipe exhaust.
Yep.
But the Motordyne steps up over time. It goes all the way from a 2 1/4 exhaust all the way to a 3-inch exhaust at the end. But it does it in steps at certain places of the exhaust where the expansion of the pipe size actually makes a benefit in siphoning. So that's why the torque improvement with that exhaust was huge. The horsepower exhaust with that exhaust was negligible. The torque improvement was very noticeable.
Yeah. So realistically, the only place you can go now if you don't want to do forced induction or introduce nitrous would be basically to put it. Nobody does nitrous.
Not that
well, actually, drag cars. A lot of drag cars still do. Even the guys running the turbo stack nitrous on top of it because they got to have
but unless you have
3,000 horsepower.
Unless you're going to the street legal drags like every single weekend, or you have a specific drag car, there's no benefit to that.
No, and the truth is nitrous destroys your engine. It's an oxidizer. It instantly rusts everything inside of your motor, so it's not good. Let's see. PD Production said, good to see you're uploading more. Maybe this will help you get to PAX East. $20. Thank you. Also, mind elaborating a little on your on what your thoughts are for PAX East this year. Honestly, I've never been to PAX East. I don't even know how much different it is from PAX West or what used to be called PAX Prime. I don't know which one's the bigger event or anything, honestly. But I would like to go. I enjoy going to those events.
I would love to go to PAX East. I like PAX East. I like Boston. I'm from Newton. My wife wants to go to visit Boston. I just have never registered for PAX East. I should try it next year.
PAX is fun, dude. It's one of those things where you go to and it's like every year I go to it, I kind of like look at it and I'm like, I don't really know how this aligns with what I do on YouTube, but you know what? This is fun. This is a lot of fun, and a lot of people that like watching us are there. They, because I guess nerdy people like to go watch scantily clad girls run around in suits and stuff.
I think it's funny how attendee registration is still open, but media registration is closed.
That's a little weird.
There's just not enough time for them to research the media. That's
I've missed media registration too before by like 6 hours, and they're like so strict about it. They're like, no.
Never mind.
No.
It says sold out. Never mind.
Oh, gotcha. Martin Paolini said, Jerry, my wife Dora and I sent some treats to your P.O. box over a month ago. Have you received them? Oh, yes. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. I actually have had a note in my phone to contact you, and then the note got deleted when I lost all my appointments. No, we did receive them. That was awesome. He sent me like every single freaking candy and sweet from their continent. It was awesome. Thank you so much. I'm sorry that I forgot and you had to donate to like remind me. But no, we got them. They all got here safe and sound. Xander liked the little what do they look like? They almost look like umbrellas, little folded up umbrellas, the little chocolates. Oh my god, he loved those things. He said, otherwise, good luck cleaning the melted chocolate from your box. None of it was melted. Surprisingly, it all arrived. And this is the sad thing. I've been like munching on it for like a month, and I'm terrible. I'm terrible. I'm sorry.
You've had this stuff for a month and haven't given him a thank you?
I know I'm terrible. Okay, I'm terrible, Jay. I'm terrible. I'm sorry. Much love to you and Jay and your families, Dora and Martin. No, thank you. Thank you for the candy. And actually, I'm gonna just blame them for the weight gain. I didn't go off my diet. They forced me to. Let's see. Jared. Here, I'll let you say his last name since we all know this guy. Jared? Zarnacow. Donate $20. Said, hey, buddy, how's your day going so far? Pretty good. I'm exhausted because my bed is shit, but that all changes in 6 days or 5 days or whenever my new bed shows up. I'm pretty excited. He said, I bought a Vive last week, and I love it. Thanks for telling me to get that first. Oh, he asked, if he should get that, or I believe it was that, or...
I want to try something. Hold on. I want to try something real quick.
Oh, good.
Everyone's complaining about the time differential between your mouth moving and the audio. Guys, remember, we pull audio from Discord and video from Skype. I am going to leave the Discord real quick and come back and see if that helps anything, okay?
Okay, you go ahead and do that. I'll wait.
I'm going to go bye-bye in the Discord. Now I got to get back into Discord. Hold on. Where'd Discord go? Oh, there's Discord. Okay. It's mixed. It's lost in all of my...
Welcome back.
Okay, we're back. Let me see. Let me see if it's fixed. Hold on. You shut up. You just shut up. Okay, say something.
Hi.
Oh god, it's worse.
Oh, is it really?
it's like a whole second off now.
You know what? We've done so many tech talks where it's been perfectly in alignment. It figures that towards the end it starts wavering.
But I still haven't dropped a single frame. That just means Skype lagged for something.
I'll just do this. There we go.
There we go. Fixed.
That solved all the problems right there.
You just be like Wilson from Home Improvement.
Yep. So Jared said, in regards to me having AMD in my computer, I would love to have an NVIDIA GPU and an Intel CPU, but I have to admit that I'm kind of poor people. So please don't hate me too much. Joke. This is because you said that we couldn't talk anymore since I had AMD. I remember that. Well, hey, Jay, I hope everything is good with you and can't wait to see the AMD build you make. You're awesome at them. Jared, I'm actually planning on building a Ryzen system one way or another. Unless somehow I hear that just like Samsung, they just start blowing up and burning people's houses down and shit, I'm on board. I want to build one bad.
No, I fixed the problem.
What was it?
I just went full screen on my camera.
Oh, you're a dick.
No, hold on. I'm gonna stop the Skype call and call you again. I just didn't want to stop Skype with it open.
No, that's fine.
Okay, hold on. Stopping the Skype call.
All right.
Oh, crap. Hold on. Wait, don't answer that. Okay, there we go. Hold on.
Damn it, Jay.
Oh, crap. Now we're echoing. Turn off your mic in Skype.
Sorry. Okay, there we go. Crisis averted. Are we better?
It's still not working, right?
Whatever, it's fine. Just leave it alone. We're getting near the end anyways. Seth Nicodemus said, hey, Jerry, could you do an update on the Bitcoin mine? The Bitcoin mine is dead. It's still technically profitable, but I was worried that my shed was going to burn down. Because none of the stuff is like certified electronics. Like it's all just like straight out of China, didn't go through any kind of certification. So I was getting worried. But it was like kind of worth the risk when I was making like $50 a day, but I'm not making $50 a day anymore, so I stopped doing it. I still buy and sell Bitcoin though every once in a while when I hear that it's gonna peak or something like that. I'll buy a couple and sell them.
You and everyone else,
dude. I kick myself in the teeth every time I see Bitcoin like go up another notch because everybody's like, it's gonna crash, it's gonna fall down, it's gonna go in a hole. No, now it's like $1,000 Bitcoin.
We haven't looked at the AMD stock lately.
We haven't. You should check that. I bet you after all the Ryzen hype, it's like through the roof.
It's pretty much stabilized. Okay, well, it's gone up.
Where am I hearing sound from?
Yeah, your sound's coming through something.
Hold on.
I hear me. Blah 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 blah.
When you called me back, Skype somehow started sending your audio. Hold on. I gotta go
fixed
mute
it.
You now.
I fixed it. I muted it.
Did you?
I did it.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's see. So they've gone from $10.50 a share to $14.32 a share in the last month.
That's for that. I mean, that's a huge percentage jump, actually.
Yeah.
On January
20th, on January 24th, they were $10.44. As of today, they are $14.32.
Dude,
damn it!
AMD
We talked
just
about
went.
this a month ago, and we still could have cashed in on this.
Buy AMD. I'm done telling people not to do it. Buy AMD. Now watch, it'll tank.
In
tomorrow
1
when
year,
they all
they've gone
burn
from
down every single-
$2.02 to $14.32, and in 5 years, their low. We've already talked about this a million times. Their low
Yeah.
was $1 something.
No, let's
$1.83.
just keep dissing it because then it'll just keep going up, right? That's how it works.
Yeah.
James Hoffman said, "What are your thoughts on the impact of qubits being developed in silicon from IBM? I've worked with D-Wave, and a consumer-grade quantum machine may be a major game changer." Okay, first I'm going to say I know nothing about any of what you just said, but I did recognize that this is all somehow an affordable consumer-grade quantum machine. Yes, that would be a major game changer. Because then you could start getting developers to develop some of the quantum-based software that would run it hundreds of times the speed that it would on a standard binary.
What was
computer.
that? Oh, it crashed.
Oh, hey, it was my wallpaper crashing. You know what? I'm just gonna mute this.
As good as $14.35 a share sounds, though, it's still
Yeah.
nowhere near where they were May 5th, 2000 at $92 a share.
No, they're gonna climb though. They're gonna climb, Jay. They got Ryzen. Ryzen is gonna help them rising up the stock market. So anyways, to answer James' question, yes, affordable quantum computer at the consumer level will be awesome. I think your biggest problem though is going to be finding people developing stuff for a quantum computer that's going to heavily utilize it at the consumer level, because usually that's like at the machine learning and like the higher echelons of computing. But that would be cool. I mean, that would be a huge step in the right direction. Let's see. Hold on.
Chris
here.
Wallace just said he got 500 stock in 500 stock in AMD. Prove it.
Prove it. Prove it.
Let me see the
I can believe
certificate.
it.
Prove it.
Yeah, I better see it. Send it to me. Forward it to me, and I'll forward it back to you, maybe.
Give me all of it.
Yeah, give me. Let's see. William Ling just donated and didn't want to say anything, so I will respect his quiet time. Let's see. Oh, this is good.
He wanted to give you money, but he didn't want human interaction.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, no, you're good. I'm just gonna be quiet back here. Morgan Scruggs said, "Hey, this is Upgrade." From Idiocracy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Terry should have gone with the President Camacho build. Had to even out the donation to Jay. Keep up the great work. Sorry to see the show go, even if it's just temporary. This is my favorite content either of you guys make. Jay, unfortunately, his favorite content is the stuff that we make together. Oh my God.
I'm a little bummed, but this is growth. This is growth period. We got to
growth.
see where we can go with next.
Jay's got to just run this thing to the moon, and now I got to play catch up. But it's okay. I'm going to overtake him again, guys. It's going to take me what was it? How long was it for you? 2 years? 3 years?
3.5.
To overtake me? 3.5 years? Okay, so 3.5 years, guys, and I'm going to overtake Jay again.
No, you
okay,
won't.
so I'm gonna.
No, you won't.
I'm gonna, Jay. Mark
No,
my
you won't.
words.
I'm not being a dickhole. I'm just being confident. No, you won't.
Mark my. I'm being confident too. I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna take you, son bitch. Let's see. Contributor Robert Wallace.
Have you hit
said-
100 million views yet?
Hey,
Let's see. No.
No, like 92 million or something.
Only
I got a ways
92
to
million.
go. I got a ways to go. Robert Wallace said, "Hey Jerry and Jay, sad to see Tech Talk going away for a while, but I'm looking forward to seeing your two channels grow after this. I don't really have a question, but I do have a reply to Jay's video today about Ryzen. I will build after Vega is out. He will.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I will update my Ryzen stuff when Vega's out and have a complete AMD build ecosystem and see how that compares.
I'm curious. I think AMD's actually got a shot
You're at
compared to what I
90
thought
million.
2 months ago.
92
Am I 90?
million. You're at 90.
I'm not at. Am I really at 90?
90.1. You just hit 90. You just hit 90 like on Monday.
Okay, I got a ways to go. That's why it's going to take 3.5 years, maybe 4.
Where were you considering?
Jay might die. Jay, if I'm lucky, Jay might die sometime in the next 3.5 years, and then he'll pause.
kidding?
His channel will slow down.
No, if I die, dude, you'll never catch me. It will go through the roof, dude.
Actually, that's true. I didn't even think about that, dude.
The amount
Every
of
video.
obituary views.
It would too. It would, and then Miss J would just take over the channel and just create like videos like, "I miss my husband. I wish he was here."
and
And
with
it'd be
the
like
amount
5
of-
billion views.
And with the amount of like track days I've been starting to do, dude, it could happen.
Hey, if you die in a fiery car crash, that's even gonna be more views, dude.
If I die in no, you want to know my luck? If I die in a fiery car crash, Nick won't have the camera on at that moment.
He probably wouldn't. He probably
Yeah.
wouldn't. That would be sad. So that's why you need to have 24 cam on your car at all time.
I don't give him a hard time when he doesn't get like a lot of footage when we're at the track day stuff, because one, he's there on his own time. Like he's not there to make a video for me. Two,
Right.
I can't make the video when I'm in the car. And two, he's like a kid in a candy store with all the race car stuff. I can't expect him to just be sitting there pointing a camera at me.
He's a tried and true car whore. He loves the cars.
No,
He
he's
replies
a
to every
GT3
car
RS whore, and there is always 2, 3, sometimes more GT3 RSs that are all track built there, and he's just like, oh my god, I'm in love.
Hey, Nick, do you want to fly up here and review a GT3 RS with me for Cargasm? I have access to one and a
right.
GT2 if we want to die.
Yeah, right.
No, I do. No,
Yeah,
I do.
right.
You didn't see that in Cargasm.
When's the episode 2 of Cargasm coming out, huh?
Well, I'm waiting for James to come back. That's why I haven't created another one.
What are you waiting for?
James is my co-host, and he had to go drive GRC cars. So he's coming back next month. He'll be back March 11th.
So you guys heard it, once a month.
So once a month.
Actually, how many months has it been since you launched?
It's been like 3, I think. 2 or 3.
You get where I'm getting at here, right?
Yeah, no, but my co-host left. He had to go. He had to go do career things.
It's actually been like 6 months since I did a video on my second channel or something.
I know, right? I know, but no. But seriously, in the car that I reviewed, the CL60.
But I digress.
You digress. Anyways, I have access to a GT3 RS and a GT2, which I think the GT2 I wouldn't drive that. That's the turboed one. That
Jolly 87. I saw your comment. That's why I digressed.
Yep. Anyways, Glenn Anderson said, "Hey Barnacles, just want to let you know that I really enjoy watching your content. Was wondering if you have any ideas for future Codegasm projects." Yeah, to see this robotic arm behind me, I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff with that, and I'm going to be doing plugins for the browser because a lot of people have been asking me for that.
What? How much content can you really do on a robotic arm? Like, what is it going to do?
Okay, well, I'm gonna make it do things to me that you guys won't be able to see, but I can talk about. I'm gonna use it as a cameraman during my live streams. I'm gonna use it as a pick and place for my 3D printer to actually pull things off the platform and put them in a box, and then print another one, put it in a box, print another one, put it in the box. I'm also gonna use it to just randomly whack me when I get donations via my Twitch stream. It's gonna come out and smack me in the face, and then if you donate enough, it'll even pull my keyboard and mouse off the desk.
I think.
Yeah. Have I given you some ideas yet?
I have to wonder how durable the thing is.
It's gonna feed me Cheetos. It doesn't need to be durable, dude. It's made out of 3D printed parts. I can fix it no matter what happens to it.
Okay, here's why it needs to be durable.
Okay.
The people will pay to cause you physical pain.
They will. That's a given.
I will pay to cause you physical pain.
I know you will.
Okay. So if it breaks midstream and then people can't cause you physical pain anymore, there goes the donation.
No, then I just start grabbing it out of frame and bashing it into myself. See, and they won't know. They'll still hear the little gear noises.
No,
and stuff.
I think there's something to be said about a robot beating you up, but watching you beat yourself up with a broken robot arm is just kind of sad.
Is that too pathetic? Is that too pathetic for the internet?
It's beneath you, I think.
Should this is what I'll do as a backup, okay? I'll have a taser. And if the arm malfunctions, then I have to move to the taser. That'll be the rule.
As you're touching your mouse and fry your system.
Yeah, is that against Twitch rules of conduct? Actually, have you seen how restrictive Twitch is?
No, I don't Twitch.
You cannot, there's a list of games you cannot stream on Twitch, and one of them's genital jousting.
Oh,
I see a million genital jousting streams on YouTube, but nope, not Twitch. I tried to do it this weekend. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Nick was the one to show me genital jousting.
It's the funniest game ever. First time I saw it, I lost my shit. Yeah, it's like... It's so bad. So bad. Earl Sanders said, let's see, Jerry, got to show you some love, man. Here's $60 for the broke bed fund. Thank you so much. I need it. That bed, I've never bought anything that expensive as a single purchase.
You know what would crack me up?
What's that?
Like, just a weird number. Like a donation of like $31.62.
I got one that was $13.37 for Elite.
Yeah, but that makes sense. Like, it's not random enough. That's not.
Oh, you mean just completely random with no exchange? Gotcha. Yeah. Let's see. John Pierce said, "If AMD can do what they have to Intel with Ryzen, is it possible for them to catch up to NVIDIA with Vega?" Possible, yes. I don't want to say unlikely though, because I didn't honestly think that they'd give Intel a run with Ryzen. So
yeah, but
I don't know how
we're talking about two completely divisions here.
They are. That's true. They operate kind of autonomously of each other, so you can't really expect the other one to. So
part of me wants to say that based on like where 1080 Ti would kind of slide into the power scale, and what we've seen so far with some of the leaked Vega performance, I kind of want to say that Vega still might be behind. But the question is the price. The price is everything, right?
That's true.
Because I would be perfectly fine with a 10 or 15% slower GPU at 50% less cost. I mean, that just makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. I mean, if they've got like 1050, if they can make something that even competes with a 1050 that costs half as much as it, I'd buy that and stick it in a freaking HTPC all day long. Let's see. Connor O'Brien said, "Hey, you're killing it, Jerry. The positive attitude is awesome. Cash is to help with the bed. Thank you. I love this bed fund. You and Jay should do a collab video showing Nick how to custom hard pipe cool Jay, and then code something up with you." What? I don't think he meant.
I am not a topic, guys.
Can I hard pipe Jay? I've never hard piped Jay before.
You can hard pipe me, baby.
I'm gonna hard pipe you all night long, there, buddy. I think it'd be a cool way to get Nick in front of the camera, and maybe he could use the stuff in the future as he takes on more responsibility. Thank you, guys. I want to see Nick squirm in front of the camera. I am super duper excited about seeing Nick squirm.
He's going to be more in front of the camera. He's going to be heading up the game review division of my channel.
That's going to be epic. Hey, thank you, Ryan Marsh, for the $50 donation. You are awesome. We have Prometheus TV. He said, contributing to my next pair of pajama pants. Thank you. Prometheus, if you don't know, is one of the premier VR channels next to Tribal Instincts on YouTube. I included him in my VR video because he's actually created like software to change mixed reality and how people view it. It's actually cool that he's really boosting the community like that. Kyle Buchanan said, "Hey, Jerry, can you please make an update video on your NAS? It's hard for me to make an update video on the Synology NAS. The thing just works."
You said do a video on your NADs.
You want me to do a video on my NAS? Don't worry, I'm going to have Dexter back here help me with that. No, the NAS, the Synology NAS, I haven't had to touch it at all. It's my Plex server. It does backups twice a day from all of my computers. I've never had it crash. I've never had it not just like turn on and start working after a power outage. The thing is just bulletproof. So I guess if you want to see a video of me just saying it's bulletproof and I've never had to once touch it, I guess I could do that. Let's see. Cheyenne Kimball said, "You guys are both a huge inspiration. I'm thinking of upgrading my PC, either just adding a 1080 and then put TI in parentheses just in case to my current 4790 build, or moving to KB Lake. What do you think?" I'd say go with the GPU. I think upgrading a CPU when you've got that much overhead, just go with the GPU. You're gonna get more mileage out of it. What do you think, Jay? Unless you're using Adobe products.
What?
Okay. So Cheyenne, I'm hoping it's a girl. It might be. If it's not, then I'm a terrible person. Let's see. Oh wait, don't say my full name. Okay, I didn't say the last name, did I? I just said the first name. Okay, we're good.
Well, we got a $31 donation, but what happened to the 62 cents?
What's up?
The comment is plus 62 cents.
It needs to be cents. Said or
Maybe
Ryzen.
They won't let you.
So for a $1,500 to $2,000 budget, and please don't say I'm doing a good job on the new videos. Love both you guys. Okay, I think these two are linked together. Hold on here. Trying to find the two pieces. It's breaking them up. Okay, here we go. Okay, I got the whole thing now. So either just adding a 1080 Ti to my current 4790, or building, or moving to KB Lake. What do you think? Or Ryzen. I have a $1,500 to $2,000 budget. I mean, presumably you could build a decent Ryzen build for $2,000. But honestly, I think with what you have right now, just get a GPU. Get the 1080.
You said it all again, but for some reason I think I'm just used to tuning you out. Because again,
I think you are.
I didn't hear what CPU it is.
Hey, when I talk, does it sound like?
Wait, you want to see something cool?
She has a 4790K. 4790K.
Oh yeah, no. And what GPU?
And it doesn't say what GPU she has, but she says she'll either put a 1080 in it or update to KB Lake or Ryzen.
But needing to know what GPU she has makes all the difference.
We don't know. We don't know.
You want to see something cool?
Yeah, I do. What are you doing? I can't see. I don't have it up. Jay, I can't see what you're doing. What are you doing? Jay. You just muted me, didn't you, you son of a bitch? That son of a bitch just muted me. Jay, turn me back on. Jay. Can you please turn me back on? Pretty please. Jay. You forgot about Skype, didn't you? Turn me back on. Jay, turn me back on. Jay. He broke something, didn't he? Jay. Jay! Wait, did I just hear you snicker? I did, didn't I? You're there, aren't you? Jay. God damn it, Jay. Jay! Say something! I don't even... Here, let me go and mute the stream. Can I hear myself? Okay, good. I confirmed everybody else can hear me. I don't care if you do. Ha, lols. Lols! Actually, I do care. Jay, talk to me, Jay. All right, I guess we'll just keep reading these comments. All right, Daniel Drew said, love you guys, love your show, gonna miss it. Have either of you guys seen the movie The Master of Disguise by Dana Carvey? Rip Tech Talk. Yes, I have seen Master of Disguise. That is a really, really freaking old movie. Let's see here. What else have we got? We got James Hoffman again, said, bed fun, the love for live tech, long-time follower of Jay, and I now follow you. Thank you. I need every follower I can get to catch him. Did not know that you're a car guy. Any suggestions on adjusting suspension on US Porsche to Europe standards? I have a 911 turbo. The only problem you're going to have going to Europe standards is going to lower the car, which means like the European cars usually have different bumpers than the American specs, so I don't know if that's going to be a problem. But you'll definitely get pulled over by cops and they'll give you shit for your headlights being too low, depending on where you live. Jay!
Huh?
God damn you. I hate you so much. I hate you so
Did you
much.
see the chat like getting so excited?
No, I don't even have it up. I'm reading comments. Like, I'm just wondering. I don't know if anybody could hear me half the time. Oh my god.
I just stopped talking. I didn't do anything. I just stopped talking and was making silly faces at you, and then I started playing silly music.
Oh my god.
That's how what I was saying. Do you want to see something cool? I was actually talking to the audience, and then I just shut up and was letting you go.
This is the most stressful show in the world.
What I love is watching you like kind of work yourself up a little bit. Let's see. Usenet said it only lets you donate in $1 increments. Anyway, Star Wars or Star Trek? Oh, Star Wars, dude. All day long, Star Wars.
Ooh, that's a tough one for me, actually.
I like how you were even Skyping me, like, turn me on. You're like typing in Skype.
Dude, I like unmuted Skype because I thought you had me muted on Discord. Oh, I hate you so much.
How can I mute you on Discord? It's your channel.
It's my Discord, I know, but still, I couldn't hear you, so I tried everything. Oh my god, Jay. Oh my god, I don't know how I'm gonna make it without you. Ooh, I got one of the weird donations. I got $1.69. 69 from Simcha Berman. Said, any idea on how long we'll have to wait for the Ryzen R5 and R3 series CPUs for us broke folks?
I bet my prediction is just weeks, not months, but weeks.
It'll be weeks, as long as they can keep building them. Oh, here we go.
I feel like that's where the money is.
So Cheyenne said, sorry, 970 WindForce. That's the GPU she has, 970 WindForce. He said, I am a guy. Sorry, common issue. I'm sorry.
I would say go with the 1080.
Go with the 1080.
And leave your CPU.
Leave your, yeah, Jay and I think are 100% on this. Just get a 1080 because you're going to save a bunch of money from building a whole new system. And honestly, you're going to have diminishing returns. Like money-wise, you're going to spend $2,000 building a new system that's slightly faster in the CPU arena.
Not only that, if they're not on Windows 10, then they should not go with Kaby Lake anyway.
That's true.
I mean, you can still do it. Like my video showed, it still works just fine. It's just there's no benefit to going to Kaby Lake if you're not on Windows 10.
That's true. That's absolutely true. But everybody's on Windows 10 now, Jay, aren't they? Aren't you on Windows 10?
Absolutely not.
Jay. Oh
my laptops are. My test bench is, but Skunkworks is not.
How can you not be on the
VR
latest
rig
and
is
greatest? You are a smart person. A very smart person. Well, I think I got through everything. I did.
Yeah, I think I got through all of mine.
You guys...
No, I got one more.
Oh, go for it.
This one was from Parkit Meat.
Parkit Meat?
Parkit Meat.
Parkit Meat?
Parik Meat.
Butcher it, Jay. Butcher it.
It's
Last
spelled
few tech talks.
Parikmeet. Parik.
Okay.
Meat.
Prick
Hey, Jerry.
It's a prick meat. Okay, I'm sorry. I made myself laugh.
It's a question for you anyway. It says, hey, Jerry,
Okay.
what do you think about the NXP LPCX Presso 54608 embedded audio board?
The fuck?
I might use it for my EE senior design project.
Can you read those numbers back to me, please?
The NXP space LPC X Presso Presso 54608.
Is he making this up?
I don't know.
Okay, keep going.
Embedded audio board.
Okay. All right.
Jeez.
Holy shit, that wins the record. Okay, is this a real thing? Okay, LPC 800 espresso board. Okay, I found it. Hold on here.
I like how you're expected to just know that off the top of your head.
Yeah, hold on. So let's see here. The answer to your question is maybe.
The answer to your question is 4.
Wow, he caught me off guard. I don't know. I have no idea. This looks like some integrated audio chipset shit for like building into Arduino projects. Very
You got a
close.
robotic arm, so obviously you should know something about this.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna get back to you on that one. I'm gonna have to educate myself further before doing that. But I'm gonna say at this point in
That's
time,
never stopped you before. Just go.
should I just go? Yes, yes, you should. That's an awesome board. I highly recommend it for Chinese electronics. So, I mean, that's all I can do. Well, Daniel Drew said, love you guys, love your show, gonna miss it. Have either of you guys seen the movie The Master? Oh, I just read that. Master of Disguise. Why did that come up a second time? It's doing that sting again. That thing. Oh, wait, no, it's because he donated a second time and it added it to his original email. It said, did you like Master of Disguise? And has Jay seen it? Yes, I like Master of Disguise.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Turtle. He'll get the reference.
I haven't seen it.
It was a weird movie, but that was back when Dana Carvey was actually funny. Watch is probably Dana Carvey. That's probably like, wouldn't that be funny? Daniel Drews is like his alias. It's actually Dana Carvey. He's like, hey, did you like the last movie I was in? That'd be pretty funny. Okay, damn, they keep coming in. What do you? This is great. So now I got a donation for $666. So now I'm going to hell.
Yeah.
$6.66.
I could have told you that.
Connor O'Brien said, I meant to say Jay should teach Nick to hard pipe on maybe the new Skunk Works. You teach him to code, maybe something for the arm, maybe the program to film him while he cargasms all over Jay's event.
I like how he had to redonate to clarify it, because his first one made it sound like I was some sort of test subject.
Yeah, it sounded like, I honestly thought he wanted us to take like glass pipes and stick them up your butthole and laugh at you. And I was like, I was game. I was gonna do it. Me and Nick were gonna laugh and have a good time.
So then I assume when he said learn how to test pipe on Jay meant on my channel, and learn how to
Yes.
code on you meant on your channel.
Yes.
See, that's what happens when they don't give you enough characters. They truncate their message, and then you get crap like that. You just have to like assume things, which is bad.
Oh, hey, I got a donation for $17.76.
Oh, that's a good year. 1776,
Yeah,
baby.
that's a great year. Didn't like some shit happen? Oh, it even tells what it is. Let's see. It's Mileage Grime said history started on July 4th, 1776. I thought that sounded familiar.
History started?
Yep.
Like literally everything that's ever happened started on that date.
Big Bang happened July 4th, 1776. Everything
I like how
before
the
that was a
calendar
mistake.
system was already established in the Big Bang.
Andy had to tell me that Star Trek is better. 546 hours of television. I'll be honest. I've watched more Star Trek.
Quantity
than
over
I have
look,
Star
quality
Wars.
over versus quantity, guys. That's
Come
all I'm
on,
saying.
dude. Deep Space Nine, Voyager, they were awesome.
No,
Awesome.
those were feeble attempts.
Nah.
Deep
they were
Space
great.
Nine.
Okay, well, shit. It's 6:45. We should probably wrap this up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go upload a video. Keep an eye on my channel. Video will be up in about 3 hours. I'm gonna release it late, even though you're not supposed to do that as a YouTuber. I'm still gonna do it because
You know what's
why not?
happened?
What's that?
My brain has stopped working.
I can tell. I can tell that
That's
tonight
what
you
happened.
sound like you're running on about 3.5 cylinders.
3.5. Joke's on you.
Lols.
That's what's the word I'm looking for here? That is generous. That's it. No, look, guys, I've been working my ass into the ground. I don't need to finish that sentence. I've been working my ass into what? My ass. It hurts. That's how I make money. So anyway, yeah, I need a break. I don't even know how to.
It's time for a break. So what do you
But
say?
I can't take a break. This is not break time.
I'm just gonna click upload on YouTube and go downstairs and eat the other half of my Subway sandwich I couldn't finish before the show.
You texted me at like 10 o'clock last night, and I was like, can't talk, recording.
No, but let's be honest. That's your response since the day we met. It's like later.
And then
later.
today you're like,
Not
hope
now.
you're doing,
I'm busy.
and then today you're like, hope everything's going good, big guy. I'm like, can't talk at the studio.
Can't talk at studio. Can't talk. Making money. Can't talk. And Nvidia's giving me a back massage.
No, it's a foot massage. Get it right.
I'm sorry.
Back
Devil's in
massage.
details.
The back massage is on Tuesday.
God damn it, Jay. Roll that outro.
Okay, I'm rolling. Don't you
Make
tell
us
me
a
what to
reason.
do. This is my channel.
roll your-
Fuckface.
roll the
that's
fucking
that's
outro.
the wrong button. Hold on, that's the wrong button. Bad things have happened. Hold on.
Oh my God.
Hold on. Where's the button here? Nope, that's not it. That's a flash. Oh wait, that's Nick's commercial. I'm gonna.
I guess we're at the time of the show where anything goes, so I'm just gonna start playing on my giant.
We're running a Christmas ad in February. Hold on, guys. I'm just gonna let it go now.
Are you running? Oh my God.
I forgot that button was there.
Thank you for watching TikTok.
No, it's not the
144.
outro. The outro's not going yet.
way
It's
too
the
early
commercial
for
for the
this.
Christmas ad. Hold on, let it finish. It's a good one.
God damn it.
It's a good one. Hold on. This was Nick's
Jeepers,
Oscar
a custom build by
nominated,
JayzTwoCents has had a
performance.
fractal
It was
design
good.
defined
It was
nano
good.
S.
Yeah, I'm just letting it go.
I
It's still
love the
going.
holidays.
Handing coffee to Josh. That was real coffee. We had real coffee.
Golly, a fractal design Core 500.
But the astute people might notice that there's actually cans of Monster also, or
Guys,
Rockstar
look,
also on the shelf,
live
because it took us like
days.
4 hours to film this.
This is what makes it
30
all
second
worth it.
commercial. Or minute commercial, whatever it was. Took us 4
I had
hours.
Balls contacting me today, say they're going to send me a case of energy drink.
This season,
Like,
spoil the
like,
ones you
e-bagged
love
them
with
on
the
Twitter.
gift of awesome. E-bagged. Happy
I
holidays.
did. I e-bagged them. I was like,
Fractal
send me a
Design.
case. They're like, okay.
That was probably one of my best commercials I've ever directed, honestly.
You did good. You did good.
I did good. Okay, nope, that's not the button I wanted.
Look, I'm coming out of a golden vagina.
Hold on, where are you? There you are. Oh. All right, now the intro's going.
Thank you for watching Tech Talk 144, where we talked about some inappropriate locker room stuff and played a commercial we weren't supposed to. And thanks for the tips. My bed thanks you. Love you. Give me kisses.